You appear to have caught me by surprise. Hello, I'm Zen Huxtable, and I'm taking over this channel. Uh, Unfortunately, the first 20 minutes of my audio was lost because although many things are very good, nothing is perfect. My new laptop, for some reason, wasn't recording the audio. So, I'm instead going to improvise, as I'm often known to do. Enjoy the show.
Yo, would it be super wacky if like Zen started this episode? Like, you want to do that, lol? Would that be epic?
Oh.
See,
Well, keep it in.
You started it.
that's
No,
good.
you did it. You
keep
did
it
it.
in.
This is the
Oh,
start.
Keep it in.
Excellent. 10 out of 10.
You tripped up so much.
Oh, my baby must be sending letters.
Yeah.
Hey, good to see ya.
Always in a hurry.
Huh? What? How the? Help me, someone.
I don't think illustrious is the apt word to describe him.
I would.
The illustrated, yeah.
I'm more of a
Class
shadowy,
traitor, Ben say.
shrouded in a fog, a mist shroud.
The
if you
barely
will.
perceptible Ben saying.
Yeah, the furtive,
Just the way I like it, honestly.
And the
Oh.
rest.
and the rest of them. All right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
anyway,
we said our
we're
best.
talking about
Tom,
Pokemon
Gib,
this
Nate,
episode.
Munchie,
New Pokemon,
etc.
absolute garbage. Let's talk about communism.
There's new Pokemon?
No, in fact,
No.
there's no new Pokemon. They're all gone. All Pokemon are gone. There's no more for anyone.
All right.
It's a pauper's Pokemon thing.
Who
Yeah,
cares?
Gib, what's
I was
Yeah,
in
agreed.
London today. I met with Lemon Tart, who is a person you may know from RFCK and
Of
general
course.
Discord stuff.
Yeah.
He's going to be there at RFCKCon London. Let's talk about that a little
Oh.
bit.
Why
Oh,
did you?
I
Why
would
did
love
you
to.
meet him? What were you? Were you
'cause
guys just?
He just landed
Saying
this
hi?
morning. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was just to say hi and to like.
Whoa,
walk
so he
around.
actually flew in for this?
He's like got
Where's he from?
he's from Spain. I met him in Madrid
Oh.
when I went to Madrid, and like he's in London for a work thing, and it's
Oh, okay.
perfect timing for him to be at RFCKCon, assuming he can get that one day, that day off. But like I just met up with him, and it was nice. And London is really big.
Oh, that's great.
That
makes me happy.
I understand this might be like a cliche and make it sound like something that I say and it's fake and meant to get your eyeballs onto me and rub your juices all over my sinful
Yeah.
corpse. But genuinely, I actually like meeting fans because kind of inexplicably, buzz, as they
Inexplicably
say.
is the newest Pokemon that was just announced.
You know what? Ironically, that's a great name. Anyway, they're all like cool. RFCKCon is like only people who I genuinely like and would genuinely consider my friend. People like AJ Shoop and Connor and Paradox Crux. People like that.
But you know what it is?
Literally
You know what it is,
just
Munchie?
like them.
I can. Here's why. Because in order to be into RFCK at all, there's a certain threshold of general personhood competence you have to rise above, as well as commitment to
Yeah,
the
that's
organization.
true.
That is
of
a
RFCK,
perfect
you know?
segue.
You can't be
into
a
the
basic
discussions
bitch.
that I
I
want
should just
to.
say that Potat was
Oh, yeah.
also there. I didn't mention him because RFCK people may not know Potat. He may be just a
I know
mud puddle.
Potat from the PPKP.
Yes, we talked about that a little.
Wait, who is it?
Potat-
No, I remember the Potat Papes Kevin
Pape-
podcast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know
Legendary.
Potat from sounding vaguely similar to Tadpo. Anyway,
I was gonna say, actually, it sounds more like Lotad, who we all famously met at that one RFCK
Stop talking
meetup.
about Pokemon.
I
Stop even trying.
Lotad tweeted at us.
No, Nate's actually the real fan in this scenario because I can't believe you would remember that occasion at our.
It was
I mean,
a
I
legendary
do as
moment. Lotad was so honored that we would acknowledge his existence.
Wait.
It was great.
Anyway, I want to talk about
you
how
mean the
I
Lotad
Yes, the
do,
Lotad Twitter.
in the flesh?
in the flesh. Obviously, I wanted to get more people going to specifically the London meetup because I feel it's like, a PCP London meetup, a PCP adjacent meetup, that doesn't happen a lot in Europe. That's not
True.
real. That's a rare beast. I feel like it would get people a little bit mad that they did not know this was happening. And I thought it would just be a nice gesture to, post on the PCP that was happening. The London Con was happening. And so I decided to announce the other ones as well, Baltimore and San Diego. And so I do that, and then in come flooding the PCP heads into the RFCK meetup. And I knew this would happen, but the rate and the ferocity that which it did was simply like, I can't describe it in any other way than disgusting. Let me describe literally every single PCP fan to you. They're an anime avatar, they're smug, and they think it's okay to be mean for no reason, and just just viciously bizarre. So they're just coming here with no personality and no tact and no just like willpower. They are pure leaders, not followers. And
Their roleplay skills, infantile, frankly, and it's embarrassing.
when you see a PCP fan next to an RCK fan, the PCP fan with their just some random anime bitch, no
it's like a
personality,
level 1
no
mobster
color
versus
design.
a level 100 boss.
Literally, yes. And then you look just one thing over to Ephraim, the paragon of RFCK culture, with his completely original art avatar made for his character, depicting a moment in RFCK in the game that happened in real life. It's not a game, it's a
you
lifestyle.
Picked, like, a noteworthy person,
Yeah.
as opposed to just an average RFCK,
It's
slime
imbued
boy.
with spirit. This has so much lore and context and history and culture just imbued into this one aspect of his avatar, where the PCP fans have literally never known culture or history in their entire lives.
It's because there is a barrier of entry to PCP stuff, but it is far lower than RFCK stuff, and that's why it doesn't weed out the chaff.
Well, it's because
from the
PCP fans are all named digiheads, aka like I can't imagine a
That's
worse
funny.
fate.
That's funny because PCP
Somewhat.
is like it's so niche. It's so niche already.
It is.
And then
It is.
RFCK is like niche within that.
But you need to go even nicher. That's the way to heaven.
Yeah.
Endless niches.
Anyway, I'm trying to pacify them and civilize them at the same time. I'm just like continuously spamming the invite link to the main server in this meetup side server that I've created for the meetups. And so I'm going to try and save them. I mean, I think it's a long shot. I think they're going to reject it. I think they're going to be like, "What's a text command? It's way too hard. What's reading? Oh God, there's way too much personality here.
Yeah, but
Please
you sound like
take
an
me
actual
back."
cult leader. The only way to save these people is to get them into RFCK and
Literally,
civilize
yes!
them.
That's what I believe, Nate! That's what I believe!
Well,
Please,
sounds fair.
just
Make
read
a
my
strong
texts, read my Bible. It's way better than the real Bible because it's got a little bit of a slimy touch to it.
Just a little bit.
We should actually write one. We should
why
actually just
not?
write one.
A slime
It's
ball.
the newspaper, right? But maybe those people could be reappropriated to write an
Or
actual,
maybe the PCP should write one. You know, I was reading. My friend John lent me this book called the Chapo Guide to Revolution by the Chapo Trap House, which is another sort of podcasty collective, not entirely dissimilar from us, but vastly more successful.
Impossible.
And I
If you can call
thought,
getting into politics success.
Nate, you
Nate-
of all people cannot say that. Die. Continue.
would you call making money success?
No.
Okay, well, I guess.
Who are you and
guess-
what have you done to Nate?
yeah, Tom.
Nate said lying through his teeth. Yeah.
Well,
Nice.
that's
Do
all
you
I have to
anything
say about that, I
Did
guess.
you read it? Did you like it?
I am reading it now. So far, it is a little bit too world history-y for me to get it. I'm a little too dumb.
You stabbed me. You stabbed me.
I'm not.
Ben's no history buff.
I'm saying.
That's not
I'm
a
saying
crime.
this as a like. I am ashamed of myself.
You know what? That's fine. You know how it's like funny and like quirky to say online, like, "Oh, I'm so like bad at math," or at least it was in like early 2010s. I don't
Yeah.
really see this
No, I'm
anymore.
not trying to be like, haha. I don't know any of this world history. It's like, oh man, now I wish I knew more about world history so I could laugh at these jokes.
Yeah, I feel that. You know what?
It's wasted on. It's pearls before swine.
It's just anime.
I mean-
Absolutely true.
It's just anime. I've said this
I mean,
a
I
thousand times, but it's
understand.
just anime.
I mean, I know what the war on terror is in theory.
But do I experience it day to day? Do I participate?
live
and
it?
do I facilitate continued
Do
terror?
I facilitate
I like to
it?
think so.
Yes.
And
Do I
history
continue
is
to
like
vote?
anime, but if you walked outside, you
Absolutely.
saw Modica Magica anime girl right there, like in the
Yeah,
flesh.
it's pretty much like that.
Like,
Hey,
it's
you ready for a
actually
hard
that.
left turn? Here's a hard left turn. So I bear the singular distinction of being the first PCP individual to acquire the legendary silver play button, which I now have.
You've
and
got
own.
it.
I have it. Yeah, it was in I showed it off in my my last video of me and Math of It too.
Digi should have rightfully gotten his, but just did
years
not,
and
right?
years
Yeah.
ago, absolutely. But the thing is, Digi is so incompetent at life and such a hack fraud at basic organizational skills that he has not put his two brain cells have not collided to produce in the production and speaking to the. Actually, you know who helped me out? I didn't know how to get it. I talked to the gaming Brit, and he was just like, yeah, just message these guys. And I was like, oh, okay. I did. Instantly solved, and they got it rolling immediately.
Sounds
so. Did you do
sounds
that?
about right.
I'm all for trophies and knickknacks and just things to put around your house and just have clutter to just seize up your brain and make you unable to function whatsoever.
I'm gonna hang it up next to my diploma from school. I mean, the diploma is far more impressive, but
I'm down for stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you like it? Do you like it? Do you like it?
Anybody
Is
can
the
get
play
a
button
fucking
cool?
diploma. Anybody can get a diploma. It takes
Tom's
work to
right.
get 100,000 subscribers.
That's actually an interesting
One's an
thought.
accomplishment.
What is more impressive? Because, I mean, just for example, look at the case of the furtive Psy. Psy is not, he actually was pretty successful on YouTube for a while, but the question is what did it turn into long term? Because it wasn't sustainable, but he did get the play button. So as opposed to a degree is something tangible that you can have forever and use to apply for jobs.
Are you
I don't know.
something-
You just want to talk about Psy all the time on this show. This is going to be the
something-
Psy of
he's
the
an
math
actor.
show.
If you-
God damn it.
Your diploma is something that, if all goes according to plan, you will never need again.
Well, that is true. That is true. Zen, we can't hear you if you're talking right now, if you're saying something. Yeah, you're dead,
I don't
dog.
hear a
Looks
thing
like Zen's
from Zen.
having some audio. Maybe try rejoining or
Oh
something.
no.
I don't know.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
there,
we have not
there
heard
he
you for
is.
the last couple of minutes at least.
For the past 10 minutes.
I don't know. Try restarting Discord, dude. Try.
Doesn't make
see
any
if that-
sense. He introduced the episode and then died instantly.
How?
Is it just your mic? Is it recording into Audacity correctly or something? I don't know, fam.
Was that you
It's that
breathing
damn
just then?
text status. Or
I
that
guess
damn
it's a
voice
Discord
status.
issue. I guess restart your computer. I don't know. That's all I got.
I'm
Delete
also
your
having
computer.
some
Delete your
Discord
account.
complications.
Delete System
Oh, yeah.
32.
We're all docked up and ready to go. Hey, here's a fun fact.
What's up,
The-
every pony?
The PCP has been getting just so fucked with demonetization recently that it simply was not the case up until very recently. But now I'm used to every episode.
Adpocalypse 2, baby.
I mean, maybe. I'm used to every episode initially getting said it's going to be demonetized, and then, I do an appeal, and they say, oh, that's actually, now it's fine. We understand. Sure, you guys are a little bit silly, but you've been demonetized. Every fucking literally every PCP episode until, late April has been demonetized, and I don't think they were at the time. I think they've been changed since then, and these have all been confirmed by manual review.
YouTube changed their policy in the last
They
month.
just
I
I don't
think
know,
it's
man.
literally
They said
just
no
the swearing.
low quality podcasts allowed.
Well, no,
What'd you say,
it's
Zen?
because of the fucking
The swearing, yeah.
Yeah, because
It's gotta be the
I've been
swearing,
seeing
right?
a lot of people complaining about
Carlos
getting demonetized because
Mazo
of
started
swearing.
a whole fucking thing with Vox, and they came down on YouTube hard, and YouTube.
Yeah,
as
but
of a
yeah, I
couple-
mean, sure, but we are in no way. I mean,
No.
people could be offended by what we say, but we're not in any way
It's-
attacking people. We just swear.
no,
a
it
lot.
has nothing to do with that. They just double
No?
down on everything, and there's hundreds of channels. who have
Yeah,
nothing
just
to
for
do
the sake
with
of clarification, though,
anything getting
the
demonetized.
Vox thing was completely coincidental. The timing with at which YouTube changed the terms of service.
You think so?
Yeah,
Is
no,
that-
that was actually the case because they had it a while in the
Okay.
making and
I don't
Well,
know.
regardless of the cause, it's fucking bullshit because there's nothing unfamily friendly about this podcast, and they should be begging us to
Okay.
line up to serve ads on our podcast.
I was gonna say that it's about time they finally caught up to our shenanigans. 'cause this
They
is-
finally caught up with the times and demonetized the menace that is the Pro
Yeah.
Crastinators podcast.
I mean, I get it. If you got a family-friendly company, you probably wouldn't want to be on a rather crass podcast such as this one. I guess.
It doesn't make sense to me because of the fact that you can target ads to people based on the data you get from their computer or whatever.
Yeah, so give us the
like-
fucking big
like-
titty enhancement surgery ads or
It's-
whatever, you know?
People who are not children also spend money. There's lots of people
Yeah.
who adverts are going to be useful for them to see.
Like fucking like Dick's Razor sponsors, like they themselves sponsor fucking what's his name?
Harry's
Maddox
Razors?
ex co-host Dick Show. Okay, I understand those guys. I don't think they have like ads on YouTube, but like people like those are obviously showing that like they're perfectly happy to be on like rude, crass stuff.
Right.
So why not have a category for that kind of stuff?
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
we got
We'll talk
YouTube
about
Kids. What about
It's weird,
YouTube? Haha, not kids.
Oh.
Ooh. I don't know. Maybe like the market for
YouTube
that.
Dark Red. YouTube
After
illicit.
Dark, YouTube After Dark.
YouTube After Dark. The whole site.
It's just in dark mode.
Dark mode has to be
That's the
enabled
change.
always. Can't
It's
turn it off.
mandatory.
I don't know.
I
Maybe
don't
it's
know.
like
I
a
mean-
can of worms that they don't want to open for some reason.
Yeah, that's probably true. And I get that, like, YouTube, a lot of people find it really easy to shit on YouTube. I'm actually pretty sympathetic
I
to a
am
lot of
too,
these
yeah.
things that they're
What?
being
No,
forced to deal
gross.
with.
No.
Because these are questions that, like, no one in the world has been had to, like, sort out the exact nitty-gritty of
Yeah,
until
yeah, yeah.
now.
Except for fucking
Tom,
television.
how come you're not
Yeah.
sympathetic? I want to know.
To YouTube?
Yeah.
Because like I don't know. I mean, it's not even something that's like super like based in logic. To be fair, it's just
It's
that
just like just like
they've-
an emotional reaction. Like fuck
like
them.
we have TV and we have radio, these other mediums that have existed forever, and like they've sorted all this shit out. It's not that
right,
difficult.
but like the sheer amount of content that YouTube has as opposed to those other mediums, it's just like
I think
it's
it
not
was-
even-
But what does that
I
have to
think
do with
ours
setting
was
policy changes? You know, like a policy,
podcast was
whether there's
confirmed by
5 channels or
manual
5
review
million, your
that it-
policy affects them all the same.
right.
Yeah.
I think that the manual review thing, that's kind of bullshit, the fact that you guys got demonetized for it.
I
but
don't think
guess
there
that's
even should need to be manual review. There should just be simple policy that affects everything, and it's like, okay, if we detect swearing or whatever in your fucking thing, we have something for when you're an advertiser and you get on YouTube. It's like, do you want your stuff in front of adult content? Yes or no? If they check yes, you just go on whatever. They check no. If the system
Yeah.
scans and figures out anything,
I mean,
you
I
just
would
aren't
love
put on
that,
those videos.
yeah.
So
I
that's
totally
why I
agree
have
with
no
that.
mercy for these people,
but
because
like
it's so
the thing
simple.
about that is like it's such an easy solution that like I can't help but think that they actually have a good reason for not doing it. You know,
Because they probably make more money with the convoluted system they have right now.
I guess.
Well, I mean, maybe. I mean,
I-
but
no,
it seems
no,
to
the
me
but
reason
has money
for
always
that-
been like the modus operandi for YouTube? I thought that the thing
the-
that they value most is like the advertiser information as opposed to like making, because like aren't they always in the red?
The
Yeah,
system,
they've never,
I
they've
would-
never
trying
been
to
profitable.
I think
from
the
what I
reason-
understand, hosting the videos puts them in the red, but I'm sure the data that they're skimming now lets the rest of their business, such as search and AdWords, make way more fucking money. I don't know how it all balances out. Like, because of
Yeah.
course they're not going to make
The
that
idea-
data public because they don't want you to.
The
So
idea that you
everything's
had-
speculation at the end of the day.
The idea that you had, Tom, about like advertisers checking if they want things, like that would be great, but I think the reason YouTube doesn't do that is not because YouTube is good. Like none of this is like, oh, YouTube's, I'm not like saying that any of these things means that I respect and trust YouTube, because ultimately they do stuff that I don't like, and even if they can't help but do it, I don't like it. But it's probably just because big advertisers, because of various news things with like PewDiePie, have this idea that YouTube can be like a really horrible place, and so YouTube has to like double down on getting rid of adult content, even if it's like not that bad, even if it's just a fuck word every so often. They have to be seen to be pushing that so hard so that they can get the biggest advertisers back.
But like, don't you think it's stupid, right? That YouTube the Carlos Maza thing is like the newest like example of this, but like YouTube has a history of doing this where the legacy media will like write hit pieces about YouTube and they'll capitulate even though the legacy media is their competitor, and they're just like allowing their competition that's already like basically dead already. Like YouTube won. Like it is a bigger, more powerful platform. But all these small sites are just like, well, if we just keep writing hit pieces and we still have this like image of power or whatever, or influence, we can force this company to do what we want to put us in a better position. It's just like insanity to me. Like there's a really interesting video series by PSA Sitch talking about the last adpocalypse and how it was all like purposely designed in order to
that
hurt
video by
I think
the
I recall as
advertisers.
well. Yeah.
It was fucking great.
or one
And
of
it's
them
just-
anyway.
There's like two of them, I think. I think you need to follow.
Wasn't there one that you were talking about with like Rupert Murdoch being sort of like the Machiavellian?
That's the one, dude. It's fucking fascinating.
You're like, he's behind it all, and it sounds like you're in a beautiful mind room, but at the same time, it sort of makes sense.
Right. It's like one of those crackpot conspiracy theories that it's like, yeah, but like the pieces really do kind of fall into place. Like it's pretty compelling.
Well, I mean, when it comes to YouTube's action specifically, like we could all sit here all day and talk about like the things that we think are a better policy for them. It's just that like I feel that I don't want to be ungrateful, really, is what it comes down to.
Grateful.
And I have lots of sympathy for how, like I was saying before, like how complicated some of these questions really are about. Like advertisers have expectations, and then I think it's true. Like the media class will kind of try to swoop in on things if it doesn't just have good optics, so they have to like take that into consideration and like think, okay, well we can't.
I don't have any mercy
big
for
fucking
that
mess.
because the only reason advertisers are on YouTube is because they realize it's more effective than traditional media platforms. You get bigger reach for less money. That's like the whole thing. So if they don't want to play by the rules of being like, yeah, new media is all about crazy, fucking uncensored, insane content, and you don't want to be a part of that, then just don't advertise on YouTube. Like, YouTube had all the power here because they were the ones, they are the second biggest search engine on the internet. They are the single biggest website in existence. They have all the eyeballs. They had the power. They could have said, you know what, this is how the game's going to be played. If you don't like it, have fun advertising in like People magazine and reaching 7 people. But they didn't do that. They let themselves get co-opted by interests that are counter to their platform functioning properly.
I would not give YouTube a free pass for like doing stupid shit on the regular because of how stupid it is. But I will say that there is some sort of like there's an element of like entitlement to being paid on the internet. Like this was not a thing that could be done like a decade ago or maybe 2 decades ago at this point. So like I won't give YouTube a pass for being stupid, but I will praise YouTube for at least existing as a free video uploading site that has a large amount of people to see.
I'm not
like,
gonna
that's pretty
say
cool.
here that like, oh, YouTube like sucks and is the worst thing ever. I just think YouTube is making shitty, bad decisions in terms of running their business.
Perfectly fine point. Yeah.
Well, shit. Like,
I don't know. I mean,
if they keep on capitulating, why then? You know, is it because like they want the image of being like a legitimate source? Because
I mean, there's a lot
that's
of
my
there's
thought.
a lot of just evidence of Google and YouTube wanting to be seen as in a certain political light. Political might not even be the right word for it, but just like social light, like they want
like friendly stuff.
The quote unquote right side of history or whatever. Like that's just like the zeitgeist, the cultural zeitgeist right now. Right. And because they're like a company that's like affects everybody, they kind of have to like try and ride that wave just to be like, I guess, safe. I'm not really sure, but like you know, it just seems that. I mean, I'm obviously biased in my assessment of this because I'm not, like, into the whole politically correct thing. So, like, when you capitulate to those ideas, it just inherently pisses me off because I think they're bad ideas. So I can't sit here and, like, be the objective arbiter of what YouTube is doing and what Google is doing. So my opinion obviously isn't the greatest in this sense. But it just seems to me that, like, this site was built on the backs of people doing weird fucking shit you wouldn't see on TV. And in response, because TV is getting fucked and all these legacy medias are getting fucked, they're trying to turn YouTube into a platform that supports that kind of content at the expense of everyone who made the site what it is today. Without fucking crazy weird people, you wouldn't have this platform to even get ruined like this in the first place. And it's like, YouTube should be, in my opinion, and I think most people would agree to me, not TV. It should be something else. If you want to get a TV experience, you should go get a cable subscription. If you want to see people
is profitable, and YouTube isn't.
Well, is it not like YouTube isn't profitable in terms of like hosting all the video, right? So
Well, if it's
There you
so
go.
unprofitable, the
Google's
question
response-
is
but
why
here's
does
the thing.
Google continue to subsidize YouTube at all if it's so unprofitable?
Well,
I mean,
I think 'cause
there are
I-
many reasons why.
Yeah, I mean, the data they're getting from it must be insane.
Right.
But, like, here's another thing. Instead of, like, trying to, like, court advertisers and change what the product is, like, we have a small site like BitChute, which is built on peer-to-peer instead of having servers, and they're drastically undercutting the cost of hosting video because they're not hosting any videos, really. They're hosting the torrent files. So, like, it's not... If like, a bunch of people who are pissed off with YouTube can make a quote-unquote more efficient system, I don't see why a massive multi-billion-dollar company like Alphabet couldn't be like, hey, maybe we should try and change the way that YouTube's underpinnings work to make it more profitable for us short-term.
Well, there's always going to be cultural inertia at the company and a desire to
I
have to
don't
change
know.
as little as possible.
In order
I
to
just-
do that, they might need to like go even further down the fuck the common people and, you know, suck up to the big companies that can pay them to have
I mean,
coverage.
but here's the thing,
or
though.
whatever.
It's like you can suck up to the big companies all you want, but are any of us going to say that Google is smaller than, like, the New York Times? Like, Google is the biggest company.
Well, what I mean by
For
that is
sure.
yeah.
like investors, like an individual human being who makes a YouTube channel and can make it big is more than it just being really nice as an idea. It is kind of a marketing thing. They want to keep that alive, and I think if they need to make money short term, they're going to have to like cut a lot of the people who are trying and like hogging up a lot of the data on the servers by not being that good. They're gonna need to like cut, because it really is not profitable to have all these people a free platform, and like to keep, they have to keep that
Right.
going because that's the gimmick. But
Look,
you know,
the
how do they
thing
do
about
that?
this is like it could be considered defeatist, but at the same time, I call it pragmatic. It's just like I'm not gonna get mad at a business for being a business and trying to attain more capital. It's like, yeah, that's what it's always been. Like whether it's social or monetary, it's like, yeah, this is what I expected from the get-go. And like people getting mad at it, it's like, well, you're just fighting like a Sisyphean struggle. And not even that. It's just like you're not gonna appeal to the morality, you know?
Sure, of course. Like I can be righteously indignated all I want, but I'm not going to expect YouTube to make better decisions. They've clearly
But then
have
again,
their
on the
agenda.
other side, you've got guys like Carlos Maza making an explicitly moral case for changes to the contrary. And it's not like he had a ton of influence, but at least the one thing that was done in response to that was, you know, like Steven Crowder being demonetized, which, I mean, I don't know the exact details, but I think that they said first he hadn't violated any rules.
They did.
But
They turned around and changed
did
it the
violate
next
rules?
day.
It's so weird. See,
They said
that's
that
just-
they didn't
it just
violate
goes
any
to show
rules.
Just
like
one example,
how
though, so...
it's
yeah.
like how you know the way that they do it is so case by case. They don't even follow their own guidelines. Like if they
Yeah.
had
Well, that's my
consistent
whole
guidelines
point.
to follow, they'd just be like, okay, yeah, he either did do it or didn't do it. But then they like flipped on the decision.
Right.
Like, what are they
because
doing?
of
I
the
think it's
public
pretty clear.
outcry. They're just trying
they
to
want the
protect
wiggle
their
room
image.
to be able to take whatever position is the most convenient at the
Right.
time. That's why they don't want to commit to either being a publisher or a like a free,
Platform.
you know, open platform for everybody, because they want to be able to take whichever position works for them
Well,
at
all
that
of
given
social
moment.
media has that problem. It's not just a YouTube
And I get it.
problem.
I'd want to do the same thing too if I was them. It's
Did
the
you hear
most
the
convenient
interesting thing with
but-
Carlos Maza, how it had nothing to do with that in the first place, and they were just using that as leverage to fuck over Vox to get more money? Because there was a huge strike going on at Vox anyways.
Yeah, that's true.
And they're trying to hurt YouTube as a
yeah.
platform because that's how Vox makes their money, but they don't care how
I
fucked
mean,
YouTube
you
is
know,
because Vox pays
some of
them.
this is it is a coincidence. I'm a pretty anti-conspiratorial guy though, which is sometimes I probably miss things because I'm so like not. I really don't want to be that guy, but like there may legitimately be some connection between the fact this attack came at that time and Vox was trying to negotiate, or like
I mean,
the
when
strike
Carlos
was
Maza's
happening for the
talking about how
workers.
fucked Fox is and how they need to change their shit, and then does
Yeah.
this, it's just like, I mean, I'm not in his head. I can't say for sure that
Mm-hmm.
was what happened, but it just, you know, looking at the evidence, it's like there is a case to be made there, and
Sure.
who the fuck knows? All I know is that YouTube is going to do what it does. I don't expect it to ever get better. I only expect it to get worse. because that's been the trend for the last 10 years. I don't see it changing. And so I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for the...
I can't even remember a time when we weren't talking about how YouTube is fucking up and making terrible decisions and ruining everything.
I mean, back in like 2007, like it was pretty dope.
Well,
Yeah.
no, I think people always complained, but the complaints they had were like, oh, why'd they change the layout?
Right.
Like,
Right.
it was
Well, that
really
was a thing
very
for a
small.
while, yeah.
People like to complain. It's just
We
like...
didn't know how good we had it.
Yeah.
Back when all we had to worry about was shit
I mean, also,
layout,
to
and
be-
I don't
to
know
be
where
fair,
my buttons went.
You know, it hasn't been until the last like 5+ years that any of us were even on this side of the fence.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So I didn't give a shit about monetization back when I wasn't even thinking about it, you know?
Right. And I'm sure this would be a more common case if, because like, what site is there like YouTube where it's this big and there are this many people making money from it? You know, so it's
Uber.
Maybe,
Uber.
well,
Uber?
Uber's a
No,
Yeah.
but I'm talking
deliberate,
about like a social
YouTube,
media
YouTube is
interactive
video
site.
Uber.
maybe like Instagram. Only Instagram doesn't pay its people. They
Instead of
have,
taking
like,
you from
No.
point A to
deals.
point B, you're taking them on like an emotional like video journey. Like, let me teach you about like
Precisely.
something.
I'm taking you on a magical.
It's like,
journey.
hey guys, we the company will pay you some like piddling amount of like what
man.
your videos are worth, but like, you know, you can just, but the sky's the limit. Like, it's, you know, it's like a fucking, I don't know.
I can't
It's
wait.
kind of like
We'll
Bible
give,
lottery.
we'll
Like,
give
just a
you
little
the
bit.
tools to make content for us. It's
Yeah,
Uber.
like they do that with like the music catalog that they make available, and you know, of course, all the tools to just uploading and premiering and super chats and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Which of course they benefit from.
I can't wait
That's
to
all-
get
that's-
into my
that's it.
Uber.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait to get into my Uber and the guy to look at me and be like, "Hey Tom, sorry I haven't driven you anywhere in a while."
I'm sorry.
Oh yes.
Oh, now I want
like
that.
a
Now I
personal
want an
Uber
Uber driver to be like vlogging while Uber driving.
Now that's doubling up on content. That's just smart. That's just the way to do it, man.
Hey guys, I got
is-
some freaks in the back right now. I'm just driving
That's what you do.
somewhere.
You make a YouTube channel about being an Uber driver, and you just
It's
like,
getting in
it's
an
like-
Uber is like playing Russian roulette, but instead of dying if you get the bullet, you actually just have an extremely euphoric experience of talking to some bizarre absolute freak. For instance, most of the time you'll just get like a nothing burger, just absolute like, oh, guy with glasses or guy with hair. But then if you're out on the prowl late at night like I am, you know, scrounging for trash on Newberry Street, and you call your guy at like 2 a.m., then he'll come and he'll be fully dressed in drag, literally in dominatrix gear, not a joke, and offer you candy, which you will of course accept with a whole open hand. You will just get poured candy from this man, and it will be a great time, and you'll talk to him about his ex-wives. Literally just the best experience I've ever had. Uber drivers are the weird Uber drivers specifically are a treat to the world.
Truly.
I haven't had many experiences like that. People always talk about crazy taxi drivers and stuff, but I don't know. Mostly they're just like quiet, older guys who clearly do not want to be doing this. But I don't know if they've fallen on hard times. Their corporate job got, you know, shipped off to China, and so now they're being an Uberman.
I had one Uber driver who was really into his car, and he was just
Yeah.
like, "Hey, check this out," and just kind of a little bit. Yeah,
Imagine if he does that with every single passenger.
yeah. He's just like, "Dude, check out how I can rev my fucking engine, bro. Like, look at
Damn.
look at my car, how fast I can go. Like, just a little bit, just a
He
little.
was able to
just,
become a professional
just enough
car
to make me
show-off.
uncomfortable."
My favorite thing about Uber drivers,
Fascinating.
they are the exact archetype of character that I enjoy, which is to say people who are like really like enthused about bizarre things that don't matter at all. For instance, there was one Uber driver I was in the car with who was completely hung up about Hangover Part 2, and he just loved The Hangover Part 2 specifically. And the entire
Yeah,
time
that's the
he
prime
was
one.
just talking to me about how, you know, oh, it's kind of dangerous on the street, you know, like in Hangover Part 2, they got into a lot of trouble back over there. And I just think we gotta be real careful nowadays, you know? You know about the combat zone back in Boston? There used to be a combat zone. People they'd shave your back for a nickel, but the Hangover Part 2, they wouldn't do that if you gave them a $5 bill. And I'm like, oh God, let me out.
I think you remember too much of that. I think you're destined to become an Uber driver.
You know what? Maybe so. And if I am, I accept that destiny. with open arms because
God,
I love
imagine.
Munchie.
Could you imagine
Mm-mm.
having Munchie as an Uber driver?
Oh god.
Well, Munchie
I wanna see
Munchie
it.
Oh,
is famously post-job, along with his whole generation, and being
Yeah.
an Uber driver is definitely post-job.
Oh, 100%. Buckle your seatbelts! We're going on a bumpy ride! Goes 2 miles an hour because I'm scared of driving.
Just be a Boston Uber driver and not respond to any locations in the real world, but simply use Slime City locations
I thought you were gonna say not respond to people when they talk to me. Just like
Well, that
like
too,
open the
that
door
too.
and just like if they try to speak to me, just like say, oh no, I can't do that. I can't.
You know what that reminds me of though? There was when I was in Japan, there are these restaurants that before you enter, it's like a vending machine on the outside where you select the food you want, and it like you put it and you put your money in like a vending machine. It gives you a ticket, and it also prints what outside. You just go sit down, and the guy behind the counter, like, he got the ticket on his side, and he just like brings it where you need to be. There should be actually, now that I think about this, is exactly how Uber works, because they are given the location that you're going to ahead of time, and so they know beforehand before they even pick you up if they want to drive you there or not. So the future is now, I guess. We did it,
Truly.
Japan.
Truly.
I missed those restaurants though. They were the best. I didn't have to talk to anyone. Oh, that's the way.
So,
This is the way to
I don't-
depopulate Japan.
I
There's
don't want to be presumptuous in assuming that you all have you've all had the experience of having a bad computer or laptop. Is that true?
Of course.
absolutely.
I mean, I don't know how you
Okay.
could exist
Okay.
without
So.
having that experience.
So that means you can truly appreciate that I recently, yesterday, got a beautiful 28 gig RAM, 512 SSD, 512 gig SSD laptop yesterday. Oh, it's beautiful. It runs.
I bet Minecraft runs like a dream.
It
on
runs
that
like
boy.
a dream. You have no idea. I love it so much.
Dude,
and that's exactly
I got
the
that
reason.
feel the other day, or like a couple months ago, I got my new desktop. Oh, blissful feeling, dude! When you can open up Firefox and it doesn't take literally like 2.5 minutes to load.
Dude, it's fucking beautiful. And it's like the contrast between like the old laptop that you had the day before and like this one. Oh,
Oh yeah.
beautiful.
Oh yeah.
And it's like that's exactly why I offered to edit this episode, because like
Oh, just for the sheer joy
Yeah,
of doing
absolutely.
the editing
The process.
process.
Seeing
So
the
watch
render
that render
animal
bar fill up
pleasure.
like way faster and just be like,
Yeah,
the
oh,
money
that's
was
a great
worth
and
it.
like
feeling.
my pet peeve with my old laptop was the fact that when I was rendering, I couldn't do anything else with the laptop because like it took up all of the RAM. So literally, I uploaded a video that was like 4 minutes yesterday, and it took an hour and a half to render. Absolute
All right,
shit.
that's insane.
Absolute
that's insane.
shit. I rendered a video today about the same time. Took a minute. Beautiful.
Took
Whoa,
1 minute.
Whoa.
Oh my god.
Oh my
Ooh.
god.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's insane. You know, I don't know if this is just me, but I feel like this definitely happened with my old computer. I've got a relatively new one. It's pretty great. Tom helped me build it and stuff, or helped me pick out the parts.
And
Like,
I
feel
mooched
like
off
the
Tom as well when I made my computer. So
Indeed.
God
yep.
bless Tom.
I feel like it's taking longer and longer for renders to happen, and I'm just wondering, like, what processes can I do to clean this up so it stays pristine? And,
yeah,
not...
I've been wondering about that as well, because I've noticed my computer is like taking like 5 minutes to boot up now, and
It's a long time.
I think I need to like defragment or something, or like clean up some stuff, because I hadn't really added that much more things, I don't think.
Yeah. I mean, I assume it's just like adding junk to. I mean, I don't know. When you install stuff, sometimes there's just like not installers, but like run like start up processes just
Right.
start up, and then they just eat up.
Yeah,
RAM and
I went
CPU and
to
stuff.
settings to like turn off the things that happen on startup, but it wasn't even that many things.
Right.
And it's still taking a little longer than I would like.
I just assume that it's like a big bag. My computer's like a big cloth bag, and I just throw software in there. They all got piled up, and then it's like on Christmas Day when you're at Timmy's house and you got to give him his present, and you're reaching around there. Oh, there's so much I can't find it. Where's the fucking?
Why are
package
you
I'm
at Timmy's
looking
house on Christmas?
Yeah.
Because I
Did
am
your,
Santa Claus
your
in this
parents
metaphor.
kick you out? Okay, there you go.
I am Santa. And it's very unfortunate. This is how I imagine computers work. I actually do know how they work. I did, in fact, go to school for this, but
Nah,
nonetheless, I
computers
choose
are
to
like
believe.
magic, dude. You know, you put a weasel in a box and he makes it go wha.
Exactly.
True enigma.
I built an OS once in college. I mean, it was a very simple OS, but
Sure.
it worked.
Temple
So
OS?
Oh,
I
best
get it.
OS
I know about
ever.
allocating RAM and shit.
Is it?
I'm
Was it
down.
called? Did you call it best OS ever?
Actually, what it was no, I did not. But it's an OS that they give you here are the specs. Make this in Python. At least I think we use Python. And just have it run with exactly these parameters.
Can you
so it's
make
not
an
like we
OS in
come
Python?
up with an original OS. They gave us one to make, and it was everybody's is going to work pretty much the same. But it was cool.
Oh, so you were a sheep. You didn't make it yourself. You were just following
Well,
orders.
that wasn't the assignment. Now was it, Munchie? I'm not Jim Microsoft.
I am not here to learn. I'm here to do.
Yeah. I am Nate does his homework bestman. That's me.
Can we all just talk about how great Jim Microsoft is? I love that guy.
He's really done good work.
I like
appreciate
Jim
it very
Microsoft, but I
much.
hate when I go to the Jim Microsoft and he starts beating the shit out of me just because I entered his domain.
Wait,
I
is
go to
this
the
like where
Microsoft
you-
gym and I push computers to gain
Yes,
muscle
that's-
mass.
I like
That's the right
sucking
thing to do.
Microsoft penis.
My
Penis.
have
Yes, we
you
can
guys
all
know
agree
that
on that
feeling
one.
when you're running on fumes and your body starts to shut down. I
Yeah.
have experienced that multiple times throughout this past week.
throughout this call.
Yeah, it's wax and wane. I would start deteriorating, becoming disheveled. Then I would wake up a little bit. Someone would say something. Then I would just recede back into the annals of just being a decrepit monster.
Docking foreskin, another man's penis. Oh yeah,
yeah.
Okay, no, fading.
Yeah, exactly. But for the past week, I have been creating and have released, and it's already all done, in a series of updates for Endless War. That have involved an ARG, and there's this out of character. This is OOC, guys. Sorry, so don't worry about that.
There's no way this is gonna top the Japanese Juggalo. I'm just putting that out there right now. We peaked.
Nothing can.
Nothing can in
Impossible.
Society, not just the
Yeah,
Japanese
that's right.
Juggalo ARG, but just
We
in
have hit
general
a
Japanese
peak,
Juggalo.
We've hit peak culture as a society.
I
It's going downhill.
remember when I first met Econ. When we first met Econ at Anime Expo, 2017, I think. I remember
I think so.
the first thing that we said one to him. It's just that he was asking what we did, and you said that you had a YouTube channel. I was like, oh yeah, I do anime videos too. Then I put on the Japanese Juggalo for him.
Oh yeah. He didn't know what he was in for.
Anyway, so I did I hosted a successful, I'll say, ARG in Endless War, and it was a great experience, and legitimately, it's a really enchanted, magical feeling when you have constructed this puzzle for people and you hit the sweet spot of not too hard, not too easy, and you can hear them do their brains rattling off, their CPUs overheating, trying to figure out the puzzles that you said, but they are exhilarated by it. They're not just absolutely defeated by it, and you can see them work through and just discover and soak up all the lore that you've imbued into each image, and that was incredible. The payoff of it was great, and I'm extremely just happy with how it turned out. However, the preceding hours of my life I can only describe as just literally the Majora's Mask commercial from 2000, where it is a faux radio announcer saying the world's ending and that he's pressuring this kid who's playing Majora's Mask to win or else the entire world will die. And then there's spliced in interview of various people in real life saying that they missed their parents. That was literally what my life was. I don't know how to say this, kid, but there's not a lot of time left. Play hard, will ya? So, literally, for the, previous to me releasing that, I had been awake for several days, and unironically, just going fucking ham. The amount of things that I had written in that time were akin to, maybe, 500 clay/stone tablets, depending on the mining quarry that I could possibly achieve at the same time. And etching those runes into that stone was a difficult process. And I'm going to spare you the details because I'm not here to suck my own dick or take up the show for any longer. But I just want to say that to set up for my real anecdote here, just know that this is our, I believe, 27. I'm almost done. I've written mountains and mountains of work. I'm almost, the end is in sight. Mere hours, literally 2 hours before it's set to go live. And I have a hard date. I released a video on the PCP you might have seen, Incoming Slam Corp Transmission. There's a hard date set on there for an in-game event that would be happening to set out. So yeah, I had a hard date or rather a hard time in that date that I had to achieve. Or else things would go fucking south. So, 2 hours until that time. Almost done. Make it a good time. I'm feeling good.
Make it count.
So that's by the time people hear this, it will have been several days.
Yes.
Released,
Yeah.
Okay, the time thing always fucks me. But okay,
Yeah.
I'm with you. Sick.
And so I'm doing good, but I can't take any more breaks. I've had my mandatory 1 hour every 12 hours where I go to eat, and I've already had that, and I can't do it anymore. But I'm on track, and then I get a phone call. I answer it. It's my mom. She says the following words to me. Hello, the cable man's here. He needs to see the modem so that he can install a camera on the front door.
Okay.
And then she hangs
Gotcha.
up. And then she hangs up. And then, like, I just slow pan out to my room, which is a disheveled tornado mess. Literally corpses in here, as far as I can tell. There's just blood and shit smeared on every single surface. And the amount of Quake energy cans that are just crumpled up near me could, like, just... recycling, done. The moment that I turn these cans in. We don't need to do it anymore because I've done it enough. Metal is saved. Renewable resource found. And so I haven't showered. I'm just a complete mess, full of wax and brimstone. And I have to just open the door for this cable man who, of course, I did not know this person was coming. Of course, there was no, hey, Anthony, there's a dude coming, by the way. The most important day of your life! The most important day of your entire social experience online. Oh, there's a guy coming to ruin it! So I had to open my door, just have this man violate my personal space, violate my room, just fuck around with my modem, just drill a hole into it, stick his dick and come in and say, oh, this is fine, right? No, it's not fine! It's not! And I get to worked up into a tizzy. I just walk downstairs, I allow him to do his work in my room. I come downstairs and I say, hey, what's going on? What's this about a camera on the front door? And they're like, oh, actually, we misheard him. We don't even want him to do this. Like, we just got a bundle, so we have to let him do it. Like, we don't even want the features installing. But he's installing smart lights, so we'll get an app on our phone where we can dim the lights from our phone. Well, would that be neat?
That sounds good.
An hour goes by. An hour of time lost. I do not have this time to spare. I just walk out to my farm and I want to plow the field. I do not want to plow the seeds of the ocean. I don't want to fight against the waves of the world, and yet I am forced to do so. And I go and I must have the words flow from my finger at this point. I've exiled Cable Man, and it's coming down to the fucking wire. I release the video mere minutes before it's set to go off. Basically, no one knows it's happening, but the fact remains that I did it technically correct. And I'm seething, and I'm panting, and I log in to my alternate account that the character. Blah, 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 character ARG stuff. And I do it, within 10 minutes from the event happening. But I do it. And it's glorious. And I just wanted to share that little story with you, because I hate cablemen, and I hate modems, and I hate smart lights, and I hate all of you, if you're listening to this. Play hard, kid. Win this one, will ya?
I appreciate that. I will say, in my dad demeanor, that one really should never find themselves, ever, if it can be avoided, in a position where an hour of distraction will make or break some great enterprise. It should be ready significantly ahead of time so that you don't have to be in a crunch time like that. But I'm not one to talk, having literally failed me a math of a 2. Now am I? So,
I will say...
Fair point, Nate.
That there's something oddly, like, I find, like, perversely erotic about crunch time. And I know it's bad. And I know that everyone's going to cancel me on Twitter. I know everyone's going to...
I know what those game devs are complaining
exactly.
about. I'd be jacking at full mast the entire time while Boss Man whips me into submission as I crank out that last, animation on the bull testicles in Red Dead Redemption 2.
I know, like, 5 minutes after release this episode, Super Bunny Hop's going to release an angry video that has me as the subject. But, like... I'm just saying that, like, crunch time, it ruins my body. It literally, like, makes me, like, ill, and, like, I felt sick for, like, a day or two afterward, and it wasn't cool.
I was a very unhealthy man during the amount of it, too. Just in general, as a lifestyle thing, for sure.
But, like, there's something about,
And
like,
Level 1.
dude, I'm getting shit done. Like, I'm achieving goals right now. Literally, like, I see a goal and I'm running towards it. Like, it feels good in that way. Obviously, there's a lot of downsides, but it feels
there
good
are
to
downsides. It's the classic. It's the classic shonen trope in which the MC obtains a but retarded power that gives him extra strength, but at the extremely nebulous cost of, like, quote, some of his lifespan, or, quote, it's shortening his life. It's just the most, you never have to worry about that while the series is going on. It's a total, like, Deus Ex Machina piece of shit answer to give a false cost to whatever the characters are doing, but is pretty sick.
I kind of literally agree that, like, okay, I've recently come to the conclusion that, like, basically no bodily harm is that bad. Like, you can treat your body poorly, and, like, it's not good, but, like, it'll be fine. Like, I've taken to just not eating.
We may reevaluate that.
I've taken to just not eating, because, like, like, whatever.
Yeah,
like, you
who
don't
cares?
need it.
Whatever, dude. What's the worst that could happen?
Literally.
That is the worst. Munchie, I have, like, not necessarily for, like, I know exactly that feeling, but, like, not exactly because the prospect of, like, producing stuff still, like, or doing good work, because sometimes I just feel like shit, like, everything is going wrong, and I am so ragged, like, run ragged, like, I smell like shit, I feel like shit, like, I've got both legs broken, like, blood everywhere, piss everywhere, like, nobody knows how bad I've got it, and I'm just, like, I'm standing there, like, with all my skin, like, falling off, like, I'm dead, I'm a zombie from Dark Souls, and I have, like, one arm that can work, and I'm looking at, like, a sheer cliff face, and there's I could just sit down, but there's something really cool about, like, just continuing. Like, even though every bone in my body aches, and, like, I'm just not feeling it, and I feel like shit, and it's terrible, and everything sucks, I'm just climbing that mountain. I'm climbing, and I, like, nobody will know there's something like, there's a way to describe it, but it's like, the feeling that even though I'm not going to boast about having done this, I know I've done it.
Right.
And like,
Exactly.
I like the fact that nobody will like, care that I done it.
You like the fact that
like
no one will care?
I don't know why. It's like some sort of weird dad thing. Like,
Perhaps it just doesn't matter
dads
to you.
like
Either way you
complaining
do it.
about, like, things not being fair and things being fucked up and, like, everything sucks. But they don't really do anything to make it better. They just like to complain.
Well, I think just inherently, like everyone in the entire world can agree that doing something, that's dumb. But doing something that's hard, sexy as hell. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, true. America loves winners. The whole world does, really. Sure. Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know whether other people understand this, like, the lack of recognition, because I don't usually brag and boast.
No. I totally understand where you're coming from, and this is sort of tangential, but it applies. So, I was leasing a place for a couple years, and it came to the point where my roommates were it's starting to get a little messy, you know, and I decided to become the house mom. I did all the dishes. I cleaned the tables. I sweep the kitchen. You know what it is. And you know what? I never asked for gratitude. I was like, yeah, this is what the house mom does. And I just felt good knowing that they see the kitchen next time, and something that they left on the table is no more there because I cleaned it up. and they could have done it, but I did it because I'm the house mom.
You got
Yeah.
taken advantage of, my friends.
That's unpaid labor right there, my friend.
It is.
You got to demand compensation.
You know the
My
perfect,
compensation is feeling good about
Job well
myself.
done.
What a worthless currency, if ever there was one.
the way I would explain the feeling is like if I'm like really tired after doing a lot of work and stuff, and then somebody says, "Hey, we're going out to this thing," and I'm like not in the mood at all, but there's this, it's good to be social. Like, it's a good idea. Even if I'm not really feeling it, I may as well. So I go to this thing, and nothing good comes of it, and I come home. And it's like, at least I tried. I guess that's somewhat of the feeling.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like doing
It's kinda
stuff,
like
doing
that
stuff
movie,
even though you're not in the best of places. It just feels good, rather than appeasing your base instinct to sit and do nothing and watch anime and play video games or whatever it is.
I hear it.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Which, by the way, this reminds me of. So I mentioned it before about my quote unquote failing Mia Maffa 2. I mean, you know, I can see why people consider that because I did not succeed at getting one video out every day. But there's one interesting thing about it. So I heard a bunch of people shitting on like the last episode of Mia Maffa 2 for one, being a piece of shit, begging for money. Bragging about my vast internet success by showing my play button, doing a terrible tier list section, and then playing a terrible cover of a boring, hacky song. Actually,
Wait, Nate,
no
hold
one would
on.
insult Champagne Supernova.
Okay,
but-
can we please smash cut to me earlier today scrolling through the comments of that video specifically saying like, Nate, your singing voice is amazing, haha, wow, even though I can't give money, you're an inspiration to me, Nate, tee-hee.
Well, okay. I mean,
It's all about the human tendency to focus on the negative.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. But I'm not even saying that I particularly think it was an overly negative reception. But I'm just saying that there were some voices that were critical.
There was a dude that had the same avatar
kind of
as
focusing
me.
on it. Oh yeah, I appreciate that. Thanks a lot. But my point was, what I felt was that like I had made some very specific mistakes that led people to being critical of that. And it was like, the thing about Mia Maffa is just that it was set up to be one day, one video, so that even people who hate Mia Maffa, which I'm sure there are some, or, people who find my my less heavily edited content, which I've been doing the last couple of years, is like less interesting than like a best anime ever. Like they want Smash videos, they want that stuff. Where is it, Nate? So I totally get why those people would like not be interested, want to tune out any of that stuff. But the thing is, the conceit on the ground is that you're getting 30 days of a video, 31 days of like a video a day, and after that you're free. And after that, your debt is paid to society, viewer, subscriber, and you don't have to sit through any more of this. The problem is, by me getting off my schedule, one, I'm pissing off those people who are like, can we just be done with this? Two, by taking longer to make videos, it inherently raises expectations for what those videos are going to be. So people, like with that last, they were like, wow, like we waited 3 days. This was the last episode of Mia Maffa. Not everybody said that, but some people did. Right. And then finally, the other problem, and this is the biggest one that ties into Gibbs' thing, is that I personally, like, feel bad about all this, and the thought comes into your mind of like, could I like just not release anymore? Because I don't think anybody, like, there's diminishing returns on Mia Maffa too. Like this was evident from the start. But like I owed it to like the promise of the program, I guess, to get all the videos out. But once you're past the deadline by like 20 days, and people are getting a little ornery and they want you to get back to your other stuff, it's like, what's the use in continuing this? And I mean, I had to do it, but it was like a weird self-doubt position I found myself in, of like, I know people just want me to move on to other stuff, but I promised I would do this, and for all these reasons, there are these negative consequences that are going to come no matter what. So the answer simply is, maybe I'll do a Mia Maffa again in the future, but there is no choice but to stick to the schedule for all those reasons. And I don't know. And like, because the original conceit is just to motivate me to make content, to exactly feel what you were talking about, Gib, to like feel like I'm doing something as opposed to nothing. Like because the original Mia Maffa was, maybe I can actually make a fucking video, or maybe I'll actually make a fucking video. Like me doing something as opposed to nothing, not these 6-month-long projects. But now people know I can make a fucking video, so there's not a lot to prove. I don't know. I was just reflecting on this, and I thought this idea of like how it getting off schedule had a myriad of negative effects, both for me and for the people watching. It was a good learning experience, if nothing else. Sure. But I don't know. I don't know. It ties into all this stuff.
I realized I hadn't watched your final episode all the way through. I go over to it, and I'm 7 minutes in, and I like the first 7 minutes. But then you start doing a tier list, and I guess I just was like, lol. Who cares? And I stopped.
It was a joke, but it is like a 15-minute long segment, so I get why some people are not.
That's a long joke.
Yeah, well, but okay, it's a joke, but it's also substantive because it is a reflection on the entire Mia Maffa 2 experience. So, sure, there's an element of joke.
I actually
but
haven't watched it yet because my subscription feed is just it's so weird. Well, it's completely normal, but the way that I interact with it is weird. Like I just
as that
over.
tier list will tell you, but as that tier list will tell you, not every video is a gem. So don't feel any burning need to fucking sit through it all. But some are. The fairy tale is dead featuring Zach Rittner.
Oh no, I've watched Mia Maffa. I just haven't watched the last one.
This is another weird thing. Do you ever? Okay, this is just a general thing. With all of us people, we all make content, we all make videos.
Yes,
Isn't it kind of a weird thing when like you're talking to your buddies or whatever who like know you make a content of some kind, and it's kind of like a weird thing.
You
like
content.
Like I'm talking about this thing. Like I never feel this. I really don't. Well, okay, I suppose in a little bit I do, but like I never feel like anyone needs to watch my content or owes me watching my content or anything like that. But you can tell when the conversation goes that way. There's like oh, of course I've like seen some of your stuff. I'm not even trying to shit on you, Zen. I just mean like I've noticed this over the years many times.
Right.
And it's I don't know, like right now I'm just like I have not watched Zen stuff in a while and I really like it, so I should. But like, it's almost kind of like a guilt thing. Like, oh geez, I'm so sorry, sir. Please forgive me.
A real fan would have watched insert fucking video name here.
Yeah, you don't even know. He doesn't even know.
Right, exactly. That's the
How
thing.
Shameful.
And it's like that's the thing about my content too, because it's literally whatever I want, and
that's true.
Yeah, I'm sort of uncapitulating in that sense, and that's probably not best in a business sense, but in terms of gratification on what I'm making, I love it. It's a grand old time. I literally just released like 2 covers of songs, just cause I have a second channel where I could have put it, but the way I choose what content to put on which channel is literally just a gut feeling. I just look at the video for 3 seconds and I'm like, okay, this channel or this channel, and like there's no real distinction between the quality between the channels. It's just like okay, yeah, I just feel like it goes this way or this way. It's like I love it. It's like, and I feel that people subscribe for that experience of just like, oh, it's a random grab bag. What am I going to get next? I did a live stream where I just went to the Museum of Fine Arts. I was like, okay.
Hey.
Yeah, that's all very
pretty
Zen
cool.
core stuff.
Yeah.
I think people who have stayed subs to you. I mean, I don't know how big you are now, but you're getting a pretty sizable following now.
Yeah,
and
it's fun.
I think those people definitely are on board for like the eclectic Zen experience at this point. So you I think you've seemed to have really broken through any kind of barrier.
Yeah.
Like if there's people with like a couple hundred subs and they upload like random stuff,
Yeah.
I mean, I could certainly understand them thinking like, geez, if they've been doing it for a long time, what do I need to change? But you seem well past that now. So
Yeah, I'm gonna make a video on the World Fair, the 1964 World Fair.
Ooh.
Why that one?
I would love to hear about that.
I like that.
Yeah,
Tell me about that. Well, I mean later. Like
Yeah,
your
no,
video.
yeah.
In the video.
And I don't want to spoil too much because it'll ruin the incentive to come to the video. But yeah, it's
okay.
just it doesn't. To my knowledge, it doesn't happen annually, and that's the one that I caught wind of. I don't know why exactly that one's important, but hey, that's what research is for, and that's what I'm gonna do.
If I recall my Disney dates correctly, that is relevant to Epcot. I don't quite
Oh
know.
yeah, that's it. That's
Okay.
correct. Yes.
Did they like build Epcot for that or something?
Well, Epcot's, sort of, kind of, a little bit. In a roundabout way, yes. Epcot currently is sort of
Okay.
like a permanent World's Fair because Walt was always fascinated by them as a kid. And
Yeah, okay.
so on and so forth. I could go on all day about Disney. It doesn't matter.
Hey, here's a slight left turn, but not quite. It's that hey, Vapors 3 is out, and I have read it.
Oh my
And,
god!
I sure.
I
Why
forgot to
would you
read it.
do that?
I did it. I did it. And I mean, I don't know how much you would want to talk about. I mean, I would certainly encourage everyone to go read it. It's very in keeping with the Vapor style. And a lot of great artwork. Interesting Magda-focused story this time, which
it is a
we've all been
Magda
waiting
chapter. Here's the thing about whenever I make anything, I'm embarrassed about it instantly. I put it out there. I put it out there, and all I can think is like, why did I do this?
You know, I totally know what you mean.
It's like
I totally know what you mean.
It doesn't serve my own interest because I know that the thing to do is get out there and like start talking about it and promoting it and pushing it. But my instinct is to recoil away from it as though in horror.
I think you know
what I mean.
I totally get you, and I think the problem is like with somebody like me. I have the advantage of my content being like a video thing that YouTube just kind of helps me. I don't have to go out and shill it really. It just kind of, seems to get out there, which is very convenient. Yours is a little bit different because you gotta pound the pavement more and stuff.
You gotta do something.
Is Magda just like Rule 63, Ben?
They both are.
Not entirely.
Both Vincent and Magda are both Rule 63, Ben.
Ben, I was very
Think
curious.
about
Okay.
it. Think about it.
I was really thinking about Vapors in general after reading that. I was doing some reflection, and of course, Vapors has always had a fairly, I'm not trying to say negative, but like a fairly dark
quality
tone to it. I mean, like
yeah.
everything about like
Sure.
a desperation of their lives, and I don't know, things of that nature.
Yeah, you could you could say that.
When I was reading this one, I not only felt that was the strongest in chapter 3 here, and I know it was played for laughs, but I felt a deep, profound concern for Magda's well-being based on the events of this chapter. And you know what? Like there absolutely would have been a way for like these same events to be written in the exact same way, but to feel more lighthearted and like not serious. But that really is not what was the tone.
That's not what happened.
It felt deeply concerning about her state of mind, considering all the things she went through.
I've been thinking about this a bunch, and I think that maybe one way to describe the Vapors is like the opposite of a superhero story, in that it is stories about people of exceptionally low capacity. Just like people who are capable of the least possible.
Well,
not a superhero story, a super zero story.
Yeah.
Of course, I could never tell you what to do with the stories or anything, but like
the super relatable story.
They are certainly relatable. Although the thing, Magda goes into like almost she's superhero level of incompetent at life, kind of. And it is a sight to behold.
I think the fact that the entire chapter was like silent, like there was no dialogue, really helped with the atmosphere and the tone.
That's kind of. I mean, 1 and 2 are largely like that as well. The dialogue is really minimal.
There's more text, maybe. I mean, I guess that's true. But you see,
I'm reading
like,
it now. Magda always felt like the sort of person who like thinks in her head, but it's like mostly nothing. And then, like, there's nothing that she thinks to say all the time.
She's a real cloudy head, if you know what I'm saying. Look at her hair.
Just like if somebody asked her a question, she'd be like, do I have an answer to this? I don't know.
Doesn't seem to have a lot of self-confidence, that's true. Though, at the end of chapter 2, there's that moment, and actually, even at the end of chapter 1, my Nate senses get so amped up to fucking 11. I get rock hard. My veins bulge from my neck when, like, for example, at the end of chapter 1, Vincent goes to this event, has a terrible time, but he signed the form, so he will be notified of future events. I'm like, yes, a redemption is possible for this character. Yes, that's what I like to see, motherfucker. Yeah.
I mean, what's he gonna do? Not sign it? He's fucking defeated.
He's not defeated. There's hope. And then chapter 2, he throws the book in the trash. He has this horrible social experience because he's got no competency. But at the end, he's reading the book again. Yes, he didn't give up. He can culture himself.
He got
he's
it.
more than
a
zero.
He got it out of the trash. He did.
Exactly.
He fished
And that
it back
I'm like,
out.
those moments of hope.
Think about it.
That's That's what I really. I mean, I love seeing them being such terrible pieces of shit. But then
I
there's
love
a
how you
little
keep
bit
on
to
saying
hope for.
"think about it."
Think about it. Well, that's just think about. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's it. That's all I want. Just think about it. No,
Okay,
Nate.
fair.
I
But in
Nate,
chapter 3,
I'm glad. That
Yeah.
super amped that you do think about it. That's all I want. That's all
I-
I want.
I
I just
do.
want people to read it and just think about it. Just
that's
just
perfectly
think
fair.
about it.
but the difference with the end of 3, it was good, and I guess I won't go. People should absolutely go read it. But like, it ends. There's no exactly the same kind of moment of like possible hope there. Although it does feel like just kind of silly at the end, which is good. I'm glad the tone lightens a little at the end, so it gives me a similar kind of slight upbeat note at the end. And I don't know, the fact that Magda kind of overcame all the stuff in here, that was kind of hopeful. Like, wow, this bitch can really walk.
She can
do a
really
hell of a
walk.
walk.
She really did it.
I respect that.
Well, you know, I mean, what choice did she have?
Very well. She,
You know, when
taken-
faced with the possibility of like, well, do I
Yeah.
walk home or do I die in the streets? She overcame. She overcame.
I'll tell you what I'm
adversity.
looking for, Ben.
Yeah.
I want to see in the future when it comes to the Vapors. I want to see more Magda, not even necessarily like winning at life, but I want to see her strengths. I want to know what is going on in her head. Because
Yeah.
mostly it's been like she of course did drawing stuff in chapter 1, which I appreciated. But like I want to know more about her thoughts on life, aside from just her kind of general
Thoughts on
disposition.
life.
Yeah, that's what I
Well,
feel
you know
as
what I
a
have
reader.
what I have to do now is I have to write a bunch of short vaporette stories for guest artists to draw for Kickstarter 2 for book 2, and I don't know what those are going to be at all. They've
Be a
got
chance.
they've
I'll
got
certainly read 'em.
parents. I could have them like talk to their parents or something. I've been thinking about. I don't know what they would say. I don't know what the content of that would be, but that's like an aspect. That,
That's an
uh,
interesting
Okay.
idea.
I haven't
Yeah.
been
Although
really
I kind
listening,
of like the
but I have.
mysteriousness of just these. Oh yeah, go on.
I just finished reading it. I almost did this exact thing in real life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, did
Tell
what
us about
thing?
it. What do you mean?
Tell me more. thing-
Well, it was.
Yeah, which
it was
thing?
like the walking around aimlessly, not knowing what to do, and then just walking all the way back home. And
Oh,
being
I was
really
hoping you
tired.
meant lying inert on the grass.
Not
until,
that
you
stuff.
know,
I mean,
no,
I
suspected
think
you were
I've done
dead.
something like that before, but like
Oh,
not
by
to
the
the
way,
point
guys,
where
I've like
the
walked
ambulance
outside
came.
before and like done things before and then walked.
No,
home.
no, no. Like walking
Yeah.
to the point of like
I've gone
thinking,
places.
man, I don't know what I'm doing.
Fuck
and then
yeah,
like
dude.
yeah, like yeah, same.
I get that. Like you could maybe ask someone for directions or help, but you're just like, no, I don't want to interact with anyone. I'm just
Well, it's not
Yeah.
even just that. It's not even just that I didn't
No.
know where I was going. It was just that I had no direction in life, literally, and I would walk.
Oh.
I walked for a really long time, and it was cold, and it was terrible.
I
and I just-
literally, guys, I literally can't even. But I literally can't even like look at it or think about it.
Without feeling embarrassed or something.
Yes, it is nothing but
I-
pain for me to contemplate.
You know, I think Ben.
all the
thing-
things that I have done and made.
It's a small point, but it's Ben. People always talk about how much they like my like Gurren Lagann reviews and stuff. The fact of the matter is, I have done like 5 of my like big staple videos like total in my entire video making thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And frankly, the ideas of making more is extremely intimidating. That I won't be able to like live up to it, or that and releasing those was always terrifying.
Yeah.
And I remember when Galco first came out. Like I knew it was like a less substantive overall video. And like people were like not that. I remember you these people in this very call were
Oh
not
yeah, I
very
hated
impressed
it.
with
I
it.
absolutely
and I was
hated
like,
the Galco
oh.
video.
Yeah, and that's fine. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
But I have that same fear about like important stuff I make,
Right.
and I think with both of us, the more we make, I think the more comfortable we'll be. Just like
Well,
dealing with.
It hasn't
insecurity about
improved.
it.
It hasn't gotten any better for me.
But
which
that's
is
my
very
point. You haven't made
distressing.
that many. Maybe if
That's
you get
true, I
like
suppose.
5.
There
more,
was
I don't
someone
know.
once
There's no
said
number.
that fear points true north, and I thought that was an interesting
Fear
comment
points true north. I've
when it
never
comes
heard
to-
that before.
when it comes to creativity. The thing you're most
It
afraid of
definitely
doing
points
is
to
the
our
thing-
insecurities. That's for
is the
sure.
one
I-
that's
is
like,
it-
Wait,
is
could
it
you
like,
elaborate on that? I don't really get it.
Tell me if this is right. I think what you mean is that like I mean, I've heard this before that like if you're afraid of something, then like the thing to do that means you should do it, like to grow as a person or whatever.
Yeah, that was
probably.
like the general idea of the quote that in the context they were talking about like creativity and stuff is that like if you're afraid of doing something, it's the one like you're the most afraid of fucking it up because it's the one you're most passionate about.
Yeah.
Hey, Gibbon,
By the way-
I'll tell you what. I actually do that thing where I just walk around aimlessly, and I actually do it to my benefit because I'm very much a homebody. So sometimes I'll just leave the house, walk in any direction till I get lost. Right,
Dude,
It's
Zen.
fun.
I like
It's
that
great.
idea.
It's
I
very
like that
fun.
idea, but like the time I was talking about is like
Right, it was a bad time, right?
it was a bad time in my life. Like like before even like Pony YouTube. This is like early life. Like, oh, what do I do? I'm gonna die.
I'm saying like do it in a more neutral context. It's great. You get to see more of the city, places you've never even seen.
Yeah,
It's just-
I
it's
mean,
just like, yeah,
I
it's all
generally,
YouTube.
I generally
Just play
default to.
Pokemon Go, bro. Just play
Yeah.
Pokemon Go.
Literally just play Pokemon Go.
I mean, I generally default to walking around rather than getting transport because I don't like spending money, and I think like my legs like could use the exercise, and it's free. Like it's better and for free, so I'll walk. It's an hour's walk, but you know what? I'll walk. I'll have to walk back, but that's fine.
Walking.
Zen,
the gimp
I
of
haven't talked
cars.
to you in a while, and I just want to say that you stood me up. You stood us up,
No, I was broke.
and I'm here to confront you. With that.
I think I literally had $2 in my bank account at that time.
There's no more embarrassing excuse that I'm poor. I hear people say this all the time. Just buy some money, dude. Just buy some
Just
money.
just mine
What's the
some
problem?
crypto. I don't understand the
Yeah,
problem.
just mine some slime.
It was a
Mine
tough
some
time,
crypto.
man.
Get that CPA.
Yeah.
I don't have
Me-
the diamond pickaxe. What can I say?
Me,
Damn it,
me,
you're right,
Ben,
you're right.
and Kazi were on the prowl. We were gonna get Happy Lamb Hot Pot, and we invited you. We extended our hand to you, and you cursed
slapped
us,
it away
and you
callously,
stabbed
yeah.
us, Zen, and you berated us. You said, "Why would I ever want to come out to have Hot Pot? I hate Japan."
remember that.
Period.
I did say that
remember
verbatim,
that.
yeah. And I don't
Yeah.
regret it, actually.
Yeah. Well, you were right because that particular hot pot was a shit show.
No, Ben, no, don't. Okay. All right,
Stop being an apologist. Stop being an apologist for Happy Lamb. all
No,
right?
no,
Stop it.
Ben,
They
no,
don't
no,
deserve
you
it.
misunderstand. Okay, Kaze was the shit hot pot. Happy Lamb is the good hot pot.
Well, whatever. The first one. It was
The first
bad.
one. Okay, me and Ben went to a hot pot place. It sucked, and the entire time Ben was like, "Oh, I hate this. Hey, waitress. Hey, toots,
Yeah,
come over
'cause
here.
it
Let me
was
grab your
bad.
ass. I fucking hate you." and she was like, "Yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir." And she was like, "Oh, fuck you!" And then he started pounding his desk, saying, "Baby want baba, baby with baba." Hey, and then he jumped
yeah,
up
it
on
was
the
pretty
table.
good
He started
time.
banging his chest. He leaped over to the next table over. He said, "Hey, eat this mollusk. Eat this mussel. Eat this $12 mussels marinara. Hey, what a good deal. Let's go to Whole Foods next. Let's get a good deal on some nuts."
Yeah, it was pearls before swine. Really.
Oh, was it?
And-
Ben,
It
Ben,
was.
It was terrible.
That scallop was the one. That scallop was the one good thing.
Yeah,
about,
that's what I meant. The scallop. He was forcing people to eat scallops against their will, left and right.
Just
It's like
force
how
feeding.
Ben did the 180 when I came up like 3 weeks ago. When
Yeah.
you specifically
180.
told Ben that it was an hour earlier to meet up than we actually were going to, assuming he was going to be late, and then he woke up right when we were supposed to be there and didn't even come to the to Fire and Ice with us.
Because Munchie told me that you guys were like already leaving.
I said that
I
we
was
were
like- I was
already
like a
eating.
lit-
My exact words:
I
we were
was like
already eating.
I was like a little bit late, and I was like
a little
hey, should I
bit
st-
late.
No.
Yeah, like
Ben,
less than an hour, and I was like, "Hey, should I still come?" And you were like, "Nah, we're already eating. We're basically done." And then like 4 hours later, you get to my house.
We did fuck
Bitch.
around for a little bit.
No.
Well,
wait,
there
this
you
is
go.
not the story how I was told. Munchie told me that he said to you, "We're meeting at 11."
Yes,
And
that's
we
what
were
happened.
actually
No. I was
But we
late,
were
but I
we were
could have,
actually
but I could have
here's the
still
thing.
come.
The thing is, we were actually meeting at 12. He told you an
Yeah.
hour earlier,
Ah.
assuming you were going to be late.
No, exactly.
And-
That just makes it worse. Because then it was like 12, And I was like, should I come? And he was like, no, it's like too late already.
It would be an hour away from you. I didn't think that you would want to do that.
You hung out for like 4 more hours before you got to my house.
The time scale of this is vastly inaccurate. Most of that was Uber time because we got stuck in traffic in Uber.
Ooh, you're a fucker.
But you didn't.
Why? Why am I a fucker?
Because you lied to me.
What did I lie about?
You betrayed me.
Well, I did lie to you saying to get there earlier than you were supposed to, yeah, and you didn't accomplish that. I forgot about that.
What's the point of telling me to come an hour early, and then, so when I'm an hour late, and therefore on time, you're like, nah, it's too late, don't show up.
That's technically not on time if the idea is to meet at that time.
Yes, that's not on time at all.
So that's not,
Ben, the point was that you were just rolling out of bed.
And you were
rolling out of bed an hour after
you were like,
you thought the time was supposed to be.
Listen, that's all fine. That happened. Yeah. Whatever.
I was. But my point of the story was going to be.
At that point, there was a choice. At that point, there was a choice to be made. Do I still come? And the right answer was yes. But you told me. No. You said,
feelings do not care about your facts, Munchie. Yeah. That's all there is to it.
That's right. Correct.
I was going to say though that Ben turned the day around because he was making keto donuts and they were great.
I made those keto donuts.
And they were meat flavored. And they were protein flavored. Yeah, okay. I'm soured forever.
A happy ending.
The blackberry ones were an experiment, and it failed. And I copped to that.
I respect the effort though.
Yes.
By the way, I'm enjoying this image that Zen posted in the chat. That I'm assuming your dad sent.
No, I don't know who that is.
No, you don't know who it is.
No, I know Steve Aoki. I don't know who sent me the picture.
Oh, okay. So wait, Steve Aoki isn't your dad? I'm confused now. I'm getting lost.
We just look so similar.
Put that in the show notes.
Where's the image?
People.
Which chat are we?
It's in general chat.
General, yeah.
There's no general chat.
Well, when it comes to art block, I mean, yeah. The only thing I have is whenever actually, we were talking about this before, but it's like, whenever I am stuck and I don't know what to do, I simply try to find the smallest possible atomic version, like, step forward on whatever the project is, and I find that once I am in the mode where I do that one thing that's super easy, the next thing just is much easier in general. So that's my recommendation.
Well, yes, I mean, there's all this sort of like just do it sort of helpful advice that I hear, but you know,
all of it horse shit.
All of it horse shit.
I think my point is a little more nuanced.
Well, no, here's the thing I was thinking about though. I was getting on like from this annoyance that I can't be bothered to like work as hard as I would like to. I was getting on like, oh, depression, and then also thinking about like what I want to do with my life. Maybe I don't even like comics. Maybe I don't even like drawing. Maybe blah blah blah. This like all stupid shit that has no actual basis, and it's just me being frustrated.
That's some real shit, though.
It is real shit, but I was thinking like. The way that motivation like comes about is as a result of something going well. Like you do something and you don't think much of it, and if it goes well, then you're motivated by that to continue doing it. And I guess I just feel like comics, Bale Jape, it was good, but for some reason it doesn't feel like it was a good like idea to. I mean, it was nice that I finished it, you know.
I know what you mean.
That scathing review I gave you last PCP, where I said it wasn't
the best comic in the world, and his hand quaked around his stylus and cracked it in half.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Tablet.
But like, I mean, it was mostly my own thoughts about it, and then it was I was asking people in my Discord. Or rather, like, they watched the PCP and heard that I wanted more criticism. And they gave me criticism, and I was like, yes, I agree with all these things, and that's true. And I was thinking, like, yeah.
That's good.
And the fact that the Punk Kickstarter is, like, I know it's an expensive plush, and not everybody has the money. But if it was popular, it would just work. It would just, you know, there would be more fans if it was more...
I suppose.
Like, more marketable, or I was better at spreading the word, or just... If it was, like, from the beginning, if it was, like, nicer to look at, because the first few panels are, like, complete shit, and it doesn't seem to be going anywhere, and it's like, that was the nature of its creation, that I
gotta
didn't care about it
Punk
initially, and then
remastered.
it sort of grew from a very small thing. But
It certainly got
just
more impressive. Yeah.
it makes it difficult
I like the
to
first
get
panel,
into.
though. I think Punk is great, but I mean, I have put my money down on a plush. I want one. Everyone,
Yeah.
go give money to the
Yeah.
fucking
Same here.
plush thing.
Fucking make it.
It
Wait,
would
will
be
the
great if-
Kickstarter be over by the time this episode comes out, or will there be
I
a few
think
days
it
left?
will be
Not
over.
quite, I don't-
No!
Maybe like a day. Just go check. Just go check it.
Yeah,
is-
go look.
I
and
think
give your
there's like
money.
a day. I think there'll be like a day or two left when this
Okay.
comes out. Unless
But
I'm wrong.
Give not to be pessimistic, but if it doesn't work out, is it possible to do one like of a smaller scale that would also make the plush real? Because I still want the damn plush, no
Okay.
matter what happens.
I have been thinking about that. The possibility,
Mm-hmm.
like, what's the cost now? Is it,
Yeah.
like,
It's
I
like
forget,
50
'cause
something, right?
Like $6,000 or something.
Is that including delivery?
Well, I just know that your Kickstarter asked for something.
Oh no,
like
no, like
$6,000.
individually, like what the
Oh,
plush
like
cost.
$40, 40 to 50, I think, something like that.
It's
Yeah.
like 50
It-
something with shipping, I believe.
yeah.
For
okay.
if I scaled it back to like, I don't know, 50 plushes, because there's like 50 people already that want them, or at least
Yeah,
50
yeah.
backers. So like, potentially I could get 50 people again, but that would mean the plush would be like $100 and something plus shipping.
I
Oh,
see.
which is
fuck.
which
Okay,
would
that's
which would
tougher
like
sell.
reduce the amount of people, and then I probably won't even get 50, and then it would just be
Yeah,
the same thing
yeah.
again. So
Scale
I'm
is
not
a
sure.
bitch. Holy fuck.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. But nonetheless, people, go fucking pledge. Please, help me get my plush.
Yeah.
I put my money down, god damn it.
Don't
I
do
deserve
it for you.
a plush.
Do it for me.
Do it for Nate. Nate deserves his punk plush. That's what I want.
Beautiful.
Yeah, but
Guys,
it is just sort of a thing, like, seeing it not succeed sort of confirms my suspicions that it's not that big. I mean, obviously I knew that it wasn't huge, but it doesn't feel
know,
like it
it's
doesn't
kinda good
motivate
to
me
know
to
that,
continue
though.
making comics. Not that I'm gonna stop, but it's difficult now to, like, I thought it wouldn't affect me, the Kickstarter not working. I thought I had, like, in my head, oh, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't matter. I'll keep working. And then
You
I
know-
suddenly find myself that I don't want to work on anything.
I thought it might be related to the Kickstarter when you started on this topic, but when the PCP Kickstarter was going, and you guys know, I mean, we were all heavily invested in that. I worked a lot on getting that going. I was terrified
Dude,
that
we all
that
were.
Kickstarter
I
would
was
not
fucking
make
worried.
it. I was like, oh my god, if this failed, like, I'm just gonna feel like such a failure and feel so bad. But the reality is, like, even if it hadn't, I mean, it vastly, it like doubled what we wanted to get, due to the stretch goals and stuff, and that was great. But even if it had failed, I mean,
it's always scary because, like, you have a vague
Yeah.
idea of, like, how big your audience is and how much they're invested, but, like, you never have the exact amount, or otherwise you
Of course.
you wouldn't be
Of course.
scared. So it's like every time you go into that venture of starting a Kickstarter, it's like, what's gonna happen?
But like I was thinking of your Kickstarter and Kickstarters in general, like, obviously it's not like, oh, it's either you succeed and you win or you fail and, like, now you're shit and everything you've done is bad.
Yeah.
It shows you the real situation that, like, there's currently a little bit less people willing to put down money on it, and that's just a good reality to be aware of.
Yeah.
And, like, I mean, I was just thinking, I was thinking of this before, like, I was thinking that, like, maybe this is one of your, like, MS Paint adventures, now deleted and homestuck.com, but, like, maybe this is, like, your, I don't know, what was the thing before Problem Sleuth?
Bard Quest?
Jail.
and
Bard Quest or
Jailbreak.
whatever. And I've
That
been
name
filled
sounds
with
familiar.
hope, and, like, Gibbs really done cool comic stuff here. I can't wait to see what he's going to do next time. I bet it'll be even better and even cooler.
If I may have the floor for a moment, Hippo, I know you're a smart guy, and I'm sure you have thought about this before, so I speak now purely for the audience's sake. But you say at the beginning of this conversation that you're making, you're writing, you're doing character layouts. Is not the point of Bail Jape just that you were supposed to fly by the seat of your handle, by the seat of your pants?
By
And I
the
realize
pants
that
of
that's
your
not
hands.
very marketable, I suppose. I mean, that's very slapdash and not very but possibly impressive. But that was the point, that you were supposed to just kind of get it done. And I just want to say that you may want to increase the marketability. You may want to increase the overall popularity of it for purely like non, greedy or bad optics scenarios. It's just, you want people to enjoy the art you create and you want people to be happy with the stuff that you make. And I think those are noble and fine. But there's no reason to make a comic unless you want to make a comic. You do not have to rely on Jailbape for your Patreon. You don't have to rely on those comics to have a house over your head. They are just purely nice, and maybe you want to make a career out of it, and that's a different story. But if you are having such a hard time making a comic, then we will probably see that in the result. And I don't know if that's necessarily something that just needs to happen.
Well, it's I don't know whether it's that I don't want to work on it. It's just that I find myself not, I wake up and then I watch YouTube videos for a really long time. And I just don't give myself the time. Like, mean, I'm always like this, even with things that I do like.
This is when schedules come in handy. Because I actually also make comics, and, I also spend a lot of time on YouTube. And I cut down by making schedules and adhering to it and punishing myself if I don't. Physically.
I know Zen's a big schedule guy, right?
Like with a cat o' nine tails?
No, I hit myself.
I've been getting way into that sort of lifestyle, Zen. It's great.
I mean, it's not a cat o' nine tails. I'm not Jesus Christ.
You crucify yourself?
Yeah, I just cut myself with a claymore.
You cut yourself into pieces? It's your last resort?
It's your last resort, yeah.
I decided to hang a literal sword of Damocles above my head.
No, but seriously, it's like night and day when you apply a schedule and actually adhere to it and like make the effort to, follow the schedule.
It's so hard for me to stick to schedules, though, because no one's enforcing it but me, and I'm a bitch.
Oh,
yeah.
That's the thing,
Zen,
Tom.
tell us. I want to hear about Zen's like enforcement measures and how does that work for you? What do you do with that?
What do I do? Well,
yeah, like if you fuck up, what do you do?
Okay, so one is like I do physical repercussions, right? And then second of all, there are things that I like, right? Mm-hmm. Like there are
Can't relate.
They're like foods that I like, or sometimes I'll often go to the store to get candy, and like if I don't do something, if I don't stop within like if I go like 20 minutes over, right? Like I'm watching YouTube for like 2 hours or something, but I go 2 hours and 20 minutes instead. Well, I won't go to the store to buy the candy, or I won't make myself that pizza. It's just like stuff like that.
That's
and it's like the trouble.
Yeah,
the trouble there.
Discipline, but yeah.
The trouble there is, finding something that you care about to the point that it's like this is actually
it'll actually motivate you to do.
Yeah, exactly.
What I find, I mean, this could just be maybe a lack of discipline on my part, but I find that like actively trying to like just like destroy yourself doesn't motivate me in the same way that it might for you. I feel like everyone gets motivated differently, and punishments don't work for me. But what does work for me is just removing as many options as possible. So instead of punishing myself for doing something bad, I just will set up my life in a way where I can't do bad things. And so it's not a question of will or I won't I, and if I do something bad, then I have to punish myself. It's a matter of, there is no option here, because either the easiest option is to do something that's beneficial to me and productive, or it's not the most easy solution, but it's the only solution that is available to me. No. For instance, a perfect example right now, I was fiddling around with my schedule and my auto blocker that blocks various applications on my computer, and I messed up. So right now, I'm recording on my laptop right now and not on my desktop like I would, because I literally locked myself out of my desktop and I cannot access it anymore because I misclicked. And I literally, like, that's one of the functions that I employ every single day, is my computer will auto turn off at various points in the day.
Okay.
Right. It's like whenever I'm doing something like an essay or something like that, I'll just turn off the Wi-Fi on my computer, you know?
Yeah.
Man, I tried that once. One time I tried, like, shutting my internet off, and it worked really well for getting me to do stuff.
I mean, it works really well until you realize, I mean, when I'm drawing stuff, I'm like, I need a reference. I gotta turn it back on, and then I forget to turn it off. It's always just a fucking nightmare. Like, I've tried the YouTube challenge, the hashtag YouTube challenge of like not watching YouTube ever again, and I completely failed.
Well, you know,
and I'm
naturally.
back on, you know, watching like multi-hour videos every day, and I mean they're fun videos and they're sort of background videos,
This
and I
is
can
the-
play a game at the same time. But I'm not working at, like, it's really just I'm wondering if that whole thing just ultimately doesn't work. But what does work is, you know, a good thing that I'm doing is like going along, like getting the motivation. Like I was saying, it comes from a success. It doesn't even need to be like I put it out and people like it. It's that I drew something good and it's good, so I'm more motivated to continue working on the thing. Getting started on anything new is so difficult because you have to make the initial good thing. Like if I do a sketch or if I think of like a really cool way this story could go, then it won't matter how many distractions are in front of me. I will want to be doing the thing because it's so cool in my head, and I'm like, I gotta do this. At the moment, though, it's just sort of like I've got lots of ideas that could be good, but I don't know whether any of them are going to be good, and I'm just sort of like avoiding starting.
The only way to know is to try, though, which I'm,
Yeah.
I'm sure you know. So.
Like I've just been feeling stupid for a few days, and usually a few days is all it takes for me to like finally be like, no more video games, and then I try, and you know, it works.
I feel
it works.
for me,
It works
I-
every so
I
often. It
feel
just
like-
it always gets preceded by me feeling like a depressed idiot for a few, you know.
I must have said this on the podcast before, so please stop me if I've repeated this exact same line before. But making a schedule is creating the perfect harness for yourself that is not it does not cut too close to your skin. You want to shear the sheep, not to skin it. So you want to make a harness around yourself that, you know, enables you to be productive and direct you towards a path, but also isn't too heavy that it makes you pissed off and want to die and piss and shit.
That's true. That's very true. It's all part of the setting appropriate goals or setting realistic goals for yourself. And if you say, like, just for example, if you are a new YouTuber and you say, just like you've never done it before, I want to hit 1 million subs by the end of the year. Like that goal is purely unhelpful. Now
It's so stupid.
It's because there can be some things about that, and people have done this before. But you're setting your sights in the wrong way. You need to be way more specific and way more, I don't know, have a
Reasonable.
plan. And I linked a video, Setting Fitness Goals by my hero, Scooby1961. He's got a whole, okay, this guy is my favorite person in the world. He taught me everything about fitness that I know. But beyond that, he is a successful retired engineer who is, let's just say, extremely financially secure. Sure. And he retired at age like 50 or 60 or something, just so he was doing his online YouTube
God,
stuff.
how
and he
old
built
is
his
he?
own
How old
plane.
is he now?
Damn.
Yeah, he is one of my favorite people on the planet.
looker.
He's a hero.
A
And by the way,
looker,
all,
yeah.
all his fitness tools. Like I said, he's a software engineer. He makes many fitness tools. He releases them for free to the public to be used by anyone, sheerly because he wants everyone to be able to benefit the way he has from fitness. And to be able to, like, you know, work on their goals and stuff. It, like, to anybody who follows this guy, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, but specifically, this video is part 2 of his series on setting good fitness goals, but it applies to any goal at all. So everybody, you should watch it and the rest of the series, because, like, setting goals inappropriately, like, it's not just like I was saying before, there are many ways to gauge if a goal is good or bad. There's an acronym, I cannot remember what it is right now. It's like there's like 4 criteria, and it's like measurable, time bounded, like not doing too much. There's like words for it, but like all those should be, frankly, for everyone to work like optimally, you should have those goals for like basically everything you're doing in life.
Absolutely. No,
like-
I'm totally with you
Yeah.
there. Like, the word of the day for me all the times is compartmentalization. It's like,
Word.
break it up into smaller, more consumable chunks for you to understand. And then the ostensibly daunting task just becomes a cake. Well, not a cakewalk, but, you know, something plausible that can actually be done by you.
Absolutely. During Mia Maffa 2, I had a big backlog, building up of things that I needed to do. I simply couldn't do because I was too busy doing videos and stuff. And now that it's done, I've been going through them one by one, checking them off. I've got a huge list of individual small tasks, and I gotta say, I don't know if everybody else feels the same way. It feels so fucking good to one by one put my big done sign next to each of those tasks.
Right.
And soon I'm going to have a big fucking list with nothing but dones, and I'm going to be an accomplished, heroic individual, and I can't wait. It's so exciting. This is the number one arc in my life that's giving me excitement, and I can't wait to be done with it.
Hippo, to go back to your new comic and stuff like that. Again, I would just say, I mean, I don't know. I don't even know if anyone else feels this way, but again, comics aren't what define you. They don't have to be your like new thing. Oh God, hey everyone in the village, come over. Hypocrite's doing comics now. This is what he does now. Ha. Hey, new comic please. Ha. Hippo, please, new comic. That's not what's happening right now. You don't have to be beholden to really any standards. I am me and you are somewhat similar, though you have a different history. But like our incomes are not online really, yours. You have like a writing job that assumably is like a job that sustains you, correct?
Yeah, pretty much.
So you don't have to do anything. You don't have to make comics.
I was thinking about this.
Nobody has to do anything. Nobody has to engage with money. Nobody has to make any money. You can just homestead your whole life. You can just go live in the woods.
The thing is, I don't really care about making comics a career. I would just like to have a few because I have some in my head.
Well, that's a great reason to do it. That's a great reason. And I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying, like, I know how it is to have people expect things from you. And when it's your career, you got to do it. But you don't
like when you literally promise a comic 4 years, that's just, it could happen. You can find yourself in that situation.
I mean, yeah, I've done that exact same thing. And I mean, I haven't talked about it explicitly for literal years because I've not once brought it up in like a very, very, very long time because I'm not doing it. Duh. I mean, how could you think I possibly still would be after all these years? You'd have to be insane.
Yikes. Well, now they know.
They already...
What do you mean now they know? That's not a revelation.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's true.
Anyway,
I decided that, I don't have any want to do comics, really.
The thing that was...
Animations were my
pathetic.
Like, I feel this some sort of, like, kick in the butt of my own self to get started on it rather than to just wait until I feel like it, because that never really comes, is just because I think it's nice to have something going on. Like, it's nice to have a project that I'm working on. If I wasn't thinking of writing a new comic, I would be doing nothing, really. And aside from, like, the writing thing, which is, like, it's not insubstantial amount of work, and I do enjoy that as well. But it feels very separate from, like, internet online things. And I know I don't have to make a comic. I don't even think people are that interested in the next comic I make. Maybe a few people are.
Well, you got to get us interested, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to get me interested in it. That's
indeed.
the problem.
I don't say what I say to promote laziness or to say, like, oh, like, don't worry about it. Just don't try and do anything. That's obviously not what I'm trying to say to do.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm telling you.
The mom position, which is fine, which is a totally appropriate one. But I'm advocating the dad position. Human beings are beasts of burden, and I very much believe that we do better when we have tasks assigned to us.
He has a job.
So while it's totally.
He
has, but as he's saying, that's not enough. He's not satisfied.
You're not
if he didn't want to do it anymore, that's totally fine. But I mean, I would absolutely advocate that, like, you shouldn't just always. I mean, I'm not saying Gib thinks this, but just in general, like, one shouldn't always, like, feel that when there are things that raise obstacles. And I know Munchie isn't saying this either, but just to state the general point, when obstacles arise and you feel uncomfortable, the answer isn't necessarily to shy away. Sometimes it can be to rise and overcome that challenge.
Fear
We'd all agree
points
on that.
true north, right? We talked about this. Bringing it back.
Pretty much. So like sometimes in Gibbs' situation, based on what he said, it seems like he does have at least a interest in making comics. So I would say, whatever, like try things, power through, etc., find the solution, all that bullshit,
Yeah,
So,
Gib,
we're on the
if
same
you
page.
have ideas for a comic, I would be more than happy to see it because I like your
Or
style.
even if the idea is to make a comic like you did before, where it's just like, just literally make it up as you go, because that's great too.
That's just
another thing.
like
Another thing you can
my
try.
brain is not. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say if you have a couple ideas and you don't know which one you want to do, like you can always just start doing them and not post them. Like if you want to just do like the first couple pages of each idea privately and be like, if this isn't clicking for me, then you don't have to like risk starting it, putting it out there, and then having to stop.
My brain is like not set on any of this exactly. I bring it up because the problem at the moment is that I feel like I have no direction and no motivation and no passion for anything, and so to try and make one of these things that I have ideas for will hopefully give me a purpose, and then I will continue doing that.
Yeah.
But though, Gib, it's interesting because this is actually exactly. I mean, it sounds to me like you're a little bit down about the Kickstarter, which is totally understandable. One of the things that Scooby says, I mean, this is very well said. It's just this is where I heard it. Is like when you set yourself with expectations that are too high, and like frankly, like you asked for more money for your Pump Kickstarter. And of course, they get a more tangible thing of like the thing than like we even did with RadCon. And I mean, just doing the math, that's like with all of us involved who were at RadCon, we were able to drum up
A
that
lot
much
of
interest
money.
with all our combined efforts. And for you to do it on your own, to ask for, I mean, we made like 9,000, asked
Oh,
for
yeah,
6,000.
I'm not
just
saying
that's
that-
a tall order.
I
and
already-
it can be demoralizing if you don't reach a goal like
Yeah,
that.
I did know going into it that it would be quite a big ask, and I wasn't
And you still
expecting
might
it
make
to
it,
do
obviously,
well.
not trying to be a
I mean,
at all.
it's just the reality of like how much the thing costs to make,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's
like
all.
like you said on the thing, like you're not trying to make money. Like there's just this is what it's gonna cost to turn this thing into a physical product. Which
Yeah.
I
If
mean,
I was making
it's a real
t-shirts,
bummer.
it would be easy. But
Easy peasy,
t-shirts
yeah.
aren't as cool.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Damn
Can
right they're
can
not.
I ask like what's like how do you want to talk about like how you arrived at the number? Like what's the arithmetic behind it?
I detail that in the Kickstarter description.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah,
I'll read it 'cause I'm interested.
there's the base cost of like manufacturing the things, and then them sending it to me. So there's delivery costs and manufacturing costs. Then it is
Shipping,
the
maybe?
customs import tax that I will be charged with once I receive it, and then what else is it? Oh yeah, and then there's 5% Kickstarter fee on top of whatever the big number is.
Right. And
And-
shipping really fucked us with RadCon 3. That was like
Yeah,
our biggest expense.
I mean, on the Kickstarter, like you input the thing, and then you say where you're from, and then that the amount that is delivery cost. I calculated how much it would cost to send something that size and that weight, and it's about $10 for America. So that's
Yeah.
like $10 plus on top of however much it is divided by 150. And then that's how I came to the thing. So it's like, yeah, I could like, I was thinking like, I know this is not like literally allowed in Kickstarter, but I was like thinking if it gets pretty close, but it's like a couple hundred, just off the mark. I was considering just like paying through some account for the rest of it.
Yeah, you can do that.
Well,
What
I don't-
is Kickstarter gonna get mad that you contributed more money to the campaign that they skim off the top of? No.
Yeah, I don't know, but
yeah, I don't know if there's a rule
I'm
against
not.
that, but
I'm not
probably
really
not.
down for like putting like more than half, which is where it is at the moment.
Yeah.
For sure. That's a big chunk of change.
I just want to say, just at the end here, just say the reason I say all that I say is simply that to say don't make shit art just because you feel like you have to, because I don't want to read bad things. So don't make a bad thing that I don't want to read.
Oh no.
I feel that. And
Fair.
Yeah.
okay, it's just that, like you were saying, you don't really feel motivation, and a lot of the time I don't feel motivation too until like it's a really inopportune time to have motivation because I can't write down the idea and I forget it. Like when I'm in bed or in a shower, so I always have a notepad next to me. So it's like I can write it down. And this isn't necessarily to you because this might not be the case to you, but so I'm just talking in general. So it's like, yeah, just always have something that you can write something down on. even if you're sleepy. And it's like you sort of have to what's the word? Not domesticate. You have to discipline yourself to do it.
You gotta
Because
domesticate yourself.
you have
the
because
body
like
train yourself.
sometimes you'll be really tired. You'll be like, it's a good idea, but I don't want to write it down. You have to do it. You just have to do it.
I've
It's
lost
like
so
making
many
definitely
good
done-
ideas by not
I've-
being disciplined like that.
I've definitely ruined my sleep when I had sort of a cool idea and I was like, I gotta write that down. I turn my phone on, the light blinds me, and then I have no eyeballs, but then I type it down in like a Google Doc. And
That's
then I go
literally
back to
how I
bed.
made my
Yeah.
first YouTube video.
Yeah.
It was like 12
Yeah,
o'clock
nice.
in the morning, and I stayed up for 7 hours because I never edited before, and I
dude.
made the video.
Okay.
that's great.
This is how much joy Endless War fills me with every single day of my life. This is how much like creative juices are flowing when I work on that shit. Because every single day I'll code a little bit and then I'll write a little bit and then I'll get into bed. And then I'll think to myself, oh, dude, what if, like, just to myself over and over again, like, dude, what if, just constantly thinking of ideas, and then it gets to a boiling point where I think, I gotta write all this down, and I just get on, like, a Google Doc for, like, 5 hours and make a ton of shit.
yeah.
Feels so good. Feels great.
It's a great.
You know what felt that I had like a big like typing a type storm the other day. Digi made his video like why I play games, and I was like, oh, dude, I love thinking about that. I love like thinking about why I like things. And so I try to figure out why I like playing games, and I typed in a notepad document like for like 20 minutes straight, like as in like that my fingers were not leaving the keyboard to think. I was just like, so much info was like getting like put to paper, and it felt great. But it was like spelling errors and like really disorganized. It was like, good thing I'm not a YouTuber anymore, because this would be a nightmare to like go through and make into something presentable.
There are days
I do
where
that.
writing feels so fucking hard for me, but then the days just like spontaneously happen where just words flow from your fingers. Ah! Oh!
Yeah,
God!
that was me last night. I started writing a script like in bed on my phone for a video, and it was like 3 pages worth of stuff just on a tiny little phone screen. I'm like, why am I still going? I should be sleeping right now. Right. It's weird when it just like hits you.
Hey, Ben, I've got a request for you.
What?
I got a request that I've been thinking about like for like a month now.
I'm
at this
sorry.
point.
I was thinking about the Shiny Teeth song from Fairly Odd Parents, and I was
that's a good
I
one.
almost started crying. But go on.
Could you,
They
Continue,
sparkle
please.
just like a Christmas tree.
Chip Skylark.
Just
What-
like
what a
the
legend.
stars in space.
Do you know that he was voiced by one of the members of NSYNC?
I'm not
Really?
surprised.
Yeah.
that
I forget-
doesn't
I think
shock
it's
me.
Joey something, I think.
Joey Tribbiani.
Joey Salads.
Yeah, that sounds
That's
right.
Joey
I don't know. I could be wrong about
Salads?
that, but
Is
it
that
was
a
an
real
NSYNC
person?
member.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a YouTuber. Well, he's a YouTuber.
Okay, all right.
So not
His
not
real
exactly
name
a
is
quote, real
Joey
person,
Saladino,
but-
but Joey Salads
I like
is a YouTuber.
salads.
Oh, okay.
I like salads.
YouTubers
better.
aren't
All
real
right.
people. let's be
Anyway, what, Munchie? What?
I've been thinking about this. I want you to make a shirt, Ben. I want you to make a shirt of. I want you to make a vapor
Hey, I
shirt.
can do that.
All right, here's what I want. It's,
You know
it's
what?
very
There was a
specific.
vapor shirt. It was available through Print All Over Me, and it was a disaster. Print
Really?
All Over Me is a nightmare. Yeah, it was like it was the cover. Like the entire shirt was an all over print of the cover of the first one, but Print All Over Me just fucked it up. And like I saw one that was made. There were like 3 people bought them. And I saw one in real life, and I was like, I regret it
You
so
almost
bad.
threw
I
up.
feel so sorry for everyone who bought one.
He just thought of the shirts and he almost cried.
I
Yeah,
I want you. This is very specific. I want you. Okay. I want you to take the "It's Vapor You Churl" that panel, put it on a T-shirt,
Oh my
but specifically remove the white from it, so it's just the black outline. So we can put it on an off-white, like beige T-shirt, and then I'll buy it.
That sounds awful.
No, it sounds great.
Does it?
Yeah. Not
Oh,
like
okay.
like a cardboard, a little bit of a cardboard color.
Hey, Benny boy, want to make yourself what, like $7.50?
Yeah, literally.
Get to edit
So,
this page.
dude, I would love
$7.50.
$7.50.
Get to it.
Yeah, that's the ticket.
Okay, well, I'll get on it.
Thanks.
Right after we make that Pokemon podcast side channel.
You.
Oh yes.
Hey,
of
wait, you
course.
haven't made
Well,
it
yeah,
yet?
Who's we?
No, I haven't made it yet. I said last week I was
Why are
going
you
to make
doing it
it.
during
and
the
I
podcast?
And I didn't. Yeah, well, you know.
Well, I
Yeah, Ben
lied.
lies.
I started
my
thinking about the
God.
Shiny Teeth song, and then
One thing
And it
led
all
to
fell
another.
apart.
Down a
Shall we
rabbit
head
hole.
to voicey mailies?
That's how it always
I
goes
think
down.
it's time. I think it's time.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, SpeakPipe, link below. Leave us some voicemail messages, and if they're good, we will play them. So let's see what we got.
They all know that they can be bad and still get played. They all know it, Nate.
No. That's a rumor. There's no evidence
Oh.
that
Alright,
let me
that
play a
there's
guy
no
saying
solid
weed.
validity to it.
Before we
No one
start
knows.
voicemails, I want to point out something funny about the voicemails in a meta
Yeah.
sense. I went to SpeakPipe, the website,
Mm-hmm.
a couple days ago because I wanted to start a SpeakPipe to help with the community show thing I want to do for my Patreon. The
Sure.
free plan doesn't exist anymore. I have no idea how we're out paying for this.
Nani?
wait, what doesn't exist anymore?
The free plan for SpeakPipe doesn't exist
Oh my
anymore.
god.
It's only
We got
a
in
paid
just under the
service.
wire, lads.
So
We're living it.
So I have no idea how they're not charging us for this yet, but there you go.
Ooh,
Yeah, and you know
secret.
the weird thing is when with SpeakPipe there is a limit to the number of voices. I think it was like 50 or
It's
something.
like 50 a
We're at,
month,
like
and
hundreds.
we
We're
blew way
at
past that, and
hundreds.
they've never charged us.
Yeah, we haven't been charged.
Is there
a penny,
is there
they haven't set
someone
an issue.
is there someone else is getting charged and they just don't know what's going
Maybe.
on?
I hope
Maybe.
so. By the way, I know exactly what number we're up to. Or okay, we like the messages we're up to. We've had over 1,068. Oh, no, we had
Jesus.
before this meeting we had exactly 1,068 messages.
Jesus
That was the
Christ.
last one before I started getting the voicemails this time. Fascinating.
999 and the shit ones that were not played ever.
No. Okay, look, guys, this whole meme of lack of quality, it's a lie, and I'm going to prove it to you right now. We've got a
Oh,
voicemail
boy.
from my hero. It's
Academia.
called, you know, it's fucking true. Let's give him a chance to
Okay.
clear the floor. Here we go.
Is this
ladies and
quality
gentlemen.
women
Okay.
back at it again?
No,
He'll come back later.
not yet. Let's go. Go.
Hey, do you ever feel like straight guys who haven't at least tried to suck a cock are, just fucking cowards?
That's the whole voicemail.
I tell you-
Oh.
That's the whole voicemail.
Nate, the fact that you are the only person laughing at this.
It's
It's
true.
quite
They
telling.
are cowards.
I-
it is absolutely cowardice. I'm so with this guy.
Not what?
I've
Get
definitely
outta
tried it
here.
before.
It's cowardice.
I've tried-
Look,
Get
we all
outta
know
here.
I've tried to suck my own.
sexuality's on a spectrum. If
Try-
you haven't
oh,
tried a
suck your
cock,
own.
Yeah.
Well, that's
No,
In the
Suck another
abstract,
man's
like,
I don't know
like,
if that-
like legitimately,
I don't know
like
if that
sucking
counts.
dick, like isn't like actually the worst thing that could happen to someone. Like in the abstract, like sucking a
What do you
cock, like, I
mean?
could probably do it. It wouldn't be that bad, honestly.
Sure.
well, I mean that's true. It wouldn't be like a painful
I
experience.
mean,
It might be unpleasant.
I would
but, you know.
rather
I mean,
rather enjoy a delicious meal with friends.
Well, I mean,
that's
it's the
okay.
restaurant for me.
The only reason I wouldn't suck a dick is because I wouldn't want to give the person the satisfaction.
Sure. See,
Like if it was just a
Fair enough.
floating dick with no person attached, like yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, okay. Who won't tell tales of your back room antics? You know, I want a little privacy in my interactions.
I don't know. I really don't have to be
okay.
convinced. It genuinely does not strike me as like that bad. Like yeah, like whatever. I just suck a dick. It's not the end of the world.
Sure.
That's fucking gay.
Yes, it
bro.
is.
I guess
Munchie.
it's like the implication is like, oh, what do you do with yourself and like your sexual identity after that? Are you gay now?
But nah.
Yeah.
No, what?
Yeah.
It's just someone's like finger,
what?
but it has a dick on it.
Why would you put someone's finger in your mouth? I feel like that's even
wait.
worse.
I'm gonna give I think we give women a pass for like messing around with other women like in college. That's like a meme. I'm officially going on the record. I'm giving guys one gay sex pass. If you want to try it out to see how it goes, and then afterward you say that like,
Nate,
hey, it wasn't for me.
Nate,
Not
you're
gay.
very
You're not
pro
gay.
this
You just gave it a
position.
try.
Am I want to assume you've already used your one slot? Is that why?
I'm just really glad
I'll
that
also on the
that the
record.
arbiter of
I-
gay experiences has given us one gay pass. Thank you, Nate. Thank you.
I have had no gay experiences.
We've
However,
got to
many
lay down
do.
the law. We've got to
Many
set down
many raise an
the
eyebrow
exact
at my
rules.
devout love of the male form, and that's on them. That's not on me. But okay, let's go to our next one. This
I
one's
want-
called.
I miss
what?
quality women. I want quality
No,
women.
don't
back.
worry. No, don't worry. He has choice
quality
words
women-
for me specifically.
If you're listening, okay.
hopefully Nate has picked that voicemail to play.
You better
Who
have.
can say? But right now,
Fuck, you
we've got
better
a
have.
message from Holy Shit Banjo Kazooie. Okay. I wonder what this may be about. Let's go.
Hello, it's me, the average Switch owner, a 15 to 22-year-old young adult who really likes the Switch and can take it anywhere. Wow, Breath of the Wild was such a great game. Fire Emblem is for gay weeaboos. Holy shit! Crash Bandicoot! No, it's Banjo-Kazooie! I don't know who the fuck that is!
Yay.
Nate,
It's the song.
these voicemails just get worse
We
and
need
worse.
to stop.
No. This is...
We need to have a
This is-
conversation about this.
I love how everyone is just so unimpressed.
Yeah, this is like a dime a dozen.
understand
This
that.
this
This
is
is-
Go.
This
Sid,
is
we,
so...
we get
Killing it.
piano playing every single episode. It gets old. There's always someone with
That
a
is true.
grandmaster piano trying to show us that he's cool. You're not!
Nobody's
There's always
cool.
a grandmaster pianist trying to impress us with his
You're a fucking
bullshit
grandmaster
Irish-
pianist.
Oh. There you go.
Hey, next.
Thanks for that, buddy.
Next.
Okay,
God.
next.
I do
You're
appreciate
banned
the
from
piano stuff,
voicemails.
but there's not much to say about it other than
Well,
cool.
That's the thing. I'm always impressed by, decent, even decent level music playing.
Oh
But,
yeah? How about
there's
this?
not-
All right.
That's what I like to see. Now,
More,
that's definitely
please.
decent
That's
quality.
the good shit.
Easily
Okay.
decent.
Next voicemail. I can't quite make it the name. It's Quality
Yes!
Women Returns. Here
Yes.
we go. Play
Thank God.
and go.
I love him.
What's up, guys? It's your boy, Quality Women here. Back at it again. The Voice Grail contestant voicemail. Can I get a 1 in the chat for Quality Women?
No.
Can I get a 1 in the chat?
No, it's
No,
too soon.
you
Too
lost
soon.
us.
Okay, so I'm calling back just to... okay, just a little update here to explain myself. So, my highly controversial voicemail
Yeah.
saying that only 8 out of 10 and above women are... okay, that was bullshit. That was a stupid thing. I think what I really meant
Yeah.
to say, which is actually could be even more offensive, and Munchie, you gonna get offended? You gonna white knight me a little bitch, Munchie?
Here we go.
Okay, so I think what I meant to say, what I really was feeling inside, is I can fucking tolerate an 8 out of 10 or above. I can tolerate your craziness more because it's like you're fucking hotter, you know? It's like, why should bitch? I'm not gonna tolerate your craziness if you're below an 8. Like what the fuck?
Well,
Okay.
all right.
Okay.
My dog just walked in. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're an 8 and below, like
Put your dog on
why,
the mic.
why would I tolerate your fucking craziness? If you're a 10, you could tolerate a 10 out of 10's craziness more because they're fucking wicked hot. You know, so I think that's what I really meant.
How is this more
Yeah, we're
controversial?
not fucking anymore. She kind of hates me now. She said she was thinking of never talking to me again.
Good.
Yeah.
She's seeing a therapist now. And we're just kind of we haven't fucked in like 2 or 3 weeks. So
Well, great.
Oh my
Let's hear
god.
it for, let's hear it for
Wait,
therapy.
is this the guy who was like
Therapy,
he was breaking up, but he was still seeing this person?
Yes. He was
Yeah,
so
yeah,
dumb.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
dumb.
Okay.
Yeah, incredible.
Let's talk about
Yeah,
this.
please.
Well,
Sure.
I do understand. I understand the 8 out of 10 thing. I don't agree with it,
Sure.
but it
I don't
makes
know
a
if
little
Ben
more
really is the
sense
man
than
to comment on this.
than
Ben, King of Fives Saint,
That-
as is known throughout
that
the world.
was a time in history.
He's learned and grown. Yeah. Okay.
5 out of 5.
Heyo.
Right.
I like the end of the story being punctuated by like, oh yeah, this person like hates me and she's gonna go see therapy for what I've done to her. Like,
He didn't say from what he's done to
oh, okay,
her.
okay, fair.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
definitely me extrapolating, but it's funny to assume that, so I will do it anyway.
That's smart. That's wise. That's wise. I mean, frankly, it doesn't sound like our boy has learned much, but
to say
No,
the least.
it does seem
But what
that
can you
things are,
do?
despite his best efforts, improving because he's not with this person anymore, and it's going to be phased out. So that's good. I'm glad to hear that.
Proud of him.
But
Proud of it.
work on it.
Yeah.
Proud of
Work
you,
on
boy.
That is not
okay,
more
let's go to our
controversial
next
than this last statement. Come on.
No. All right.
all right,
The
so we've got
saga.
a
The saga
voicemail.
concludes.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay,
thanks for that, quality women. Here is a little voicemail from Jerry. Lay it on us, dude.
Love him. Love Jerry.
My favorite.
Hey guys, so I know that whole Nate's girl is retarded thing is really funny.
Yeah.
But I think that guy who left the voicemail was onto something. He was trying to expose the secret, darker side of the man who refers to himself as the best guy ever. And I have some damning evidence spoken from his own mouth.
Oh no.
This is a clip from PCP episode 47 at 1 hour, 51 minutes, and 41 seconds.
Oh my god, he's got receipts.
Take a listen.
So why doesn't society allow me to play with retarded people's junk? Yes, I want to have sex with retarded people.
So I think that this is proof enough that Michelle is clearly one of Nate's many victims. See you in jail, buddy. The police are on their way.
Well, yeah, it's been nice knowing you.
He got you. Oh shit!
All right.
Dude,
my
can't
last act will
sell.
be to finish out this podcast before I go to
The police are outside your door right now. They banned you your last wish.
It's okay though.
They've
illegal.
got your last meal. It's a bottle of Huel.
I like
That's all I
to
ask.
imagine, like, you know, there's always like the dignified deaths in TV shows where it's like an assassin's come and it's just like, grant me one last wish, and the assassin's like, of course, and yours is just like, let me finish this episode of the PCP, let me record one more podcast.
There's a gun pressed against my head right now. They're just waiting for the end to pull the trigger. So we'll you know, thank you, officer. You're doing a great job.
It's Michelle
See you
holding
in
the
a
gun
few.
against you. She's trying to get a.
It might be Michelle dressed up. Yeah. Well, okay. All right. That's very damning. I admit to everything. It's true. Let's go on to our next call.
Everything you've heard is true. Everything.
Even the lies, those are true too.
No,
let's
why
go
would I
on to the next
say?
call.
If I didn't fuck retards, then why would I say I did?
All right, here's the biggest virgin ever. How exciting. Okay, go.
It's your parallel universe.
Hey PCP. In one episode, it was said that winitis is the deadliest disease known to man. I was wondering if I could get some advice on how to deal with my winitis. I'm going to call this girl Karen. I asked Karen out in high school. She said she just wanted to be friends, and I accepted this and moved on. I started a thing with another girl, and that fell through really hard. Karen helped me recover because she is my friend, and we started hanging out a lot. But I ended up becoming obsessed with Karen. I think that this has caused me to no longer see other girls as attractive or interesting. I recognize I had a problem in college and tried separating entirely from Karen twice, but both times, even after not communicating for months the first time and years the second time, she tried to get back into my life. And I allowed it because I figured I could handle it. But I still can't help but think about her every single day. Unfortunately, trying to separate again is not an option for me anymore because she joined a Discord server that has pretty much all of my friends in it.
Oh, he's
or her
locked
friends
in
as
now,
well.
boys.
I
He
don't
can't
do social
escape. She's
media.
in the
Discord
Discord
is the
server.
only way I communicate with my friends. If I were to try and
Get the
separate
fuck
from her
outta here,
now,
dude.
that would mean leaving the server and losing contact with that entire group of people, which I am not willing to
Just
do.
message
I
them
feel that I
outside
really
the
need to
fucking
get over
server.
this
Make
now,
another
because
Discord
Karen's
server.
actually been dating this
That's
one
the way.
guy since we graduated high school. So about 5 years. I've
Alright,
never
this
met
is a
him,
long
but I've
way of
heard he
saying
is in
I
his late
don't wanna
30s, so his
disconnect.
biological
That's
clock
what
is
this
going to
is.
tell him
Yes.
to get married soon, and I just
Oh
don't
my
think I
God.
can handle hearing that she is getting married. So in conclusion, I'm
Okay.
a 23-year-old virgin with winitis, and I need some advice on how to deal with it quickly.
Stop
have
lusting
Thank
after a
you.
girl who
I
only
know
wanted
exactly.
to treat you well, from what you
But
described.
you know what? I was kind of on board with it. I was like,
Yeah,
feeling
same,
like,
same.
you can't help how you feel, I guess, until you got to the part about how like she came back into his
She
life.
came back into his
and then
life.
I
He
was
was
like,
just an
this
innocent
this
bystander.
girl is a fuck. That's a little manipulative. I think that's a little bit.
Well,
And
wait, hang on. I mean, tell me if you think I'm wrong, but my take is that maybe that's true, but he also might just be framing it that
Well,
way.
for
Like,
sure.
did she really arm wrestle her way into his
Yeah.
life despite his
I
protests?
guess we don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Alright.
it's the fault. I don't know if it's a fault of hers, because if he's being her friend, and she misses her friend, then I guess that's like not a bad thing on her part. I think maybe she should be more sensitive to the fact that she knows there's more feelings there on his end. But it's still
You know,
giving.
this really.
Maybe. Just, like, not
I just
talking.
realized something. I think
Yeah.
I've just realized that we can only take this from his perspective,
Right.
and if we actually
Absolutely.
want to understand like the best way forward for either of these people, we would need to get her perspective as well. But since we don't have that, anything we speculate may be completely off the mark, and that's why we're not. This isn't marriage
And that's why
counseling.
we
can't
do it
actually
anyway,
tell
because
you
it's
how
the
to do
Pro
anything.
Crastinators
It's just
podcast.
fun. It's just fun.
actually true.
Fun hypotheticals to chew on. So, like, if someone does find themselves in the situation in which we happen to talk about, they know the correct answer because we're always right.
I suppose,
Yes,
but it's
that's
like
right.
it's like for
That's
this
right.
particular person, like what we say may not be the
I
right
mean,
thing.
okay.
for him
That
to
is
do.
true. That
Here's
is
the
true.
thing. I don't know. Okay, maybe this is cruel, but I don't know if I can even have pity anymore if you've been jonesing for this girl who's been with another guy for 5
That's
years.
the thing, for 5 years.
Yeah.
For 5
Are you
years.
fucking kidding me?
Dude.
Look, okay, I don't want to be like overly mean to this guy or anything, but okay, frankly, I'm sensing a bunch of issues. One, I'm sensing generally low self-esteem, and that's fine. It's not like a problem, but like obviously, if you could have honestly, guys, maybe I'm crazy, but like I really think 99.9% of guys' issue with women is that there's one girl and they like that, and they can't see themselves being successful with any other woman. Like, do you think Genghis Khan ever had fucking one-itis for any one woman when he had, like thousands available to him at any time? The answer is no. The answer is if a man has two women that would make themselves available, and one says I'm not gonna do it, he will say bye-bye and immediately plow into the other one like light speed. He'll be in there, instant impregnation. And
Where's the lie, though?
Where is the lie? Where's the lie? I mean, look, I want to be nice to this guy because I like to give helpful advice. Dude, I think your problem is that you... Yeah, you want to say something? Feel free to cut in.
I don't know, how many different ways can you say just fucking get over it? Like, it's obviously not doing anything.
It's not
for
even
you.
get over it. You have to cut this person out of your life and keep it that way.
Yeah, I want to put it in terms that are actually helpful.
Guys,
Like,
it's pretty simple. He's a coward because he hasn't tried sucking dick before, so.
Consider
You
it.
ain't wrong. You ain't wrong.
You know,
it's not gay. You get one pass, dude. Just try it.
Just go to the guy that she's with and suck his dick, and then make him gay, and then steal him away.
God. Damn,
then she'll be available, and then you can go in.
Think about it. Yeah, but then he'll be gay too, so he won't want her anymore.
No, you can be bi. You can do that.
No, that's a myth.
Bi is a myth. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, yeah, like Ben was saying, obviously the solution here is 5 years, dude. Like, what? Has it been like a relationship where, like, oh my god, they've been on and off again, these two? Like, oh, maybe there's a chance for me. Every step in this equation is you limiting yourself and being unhealthily fixated on one woman. Every man in the world is better off if you just accept the reality that, like, there are more than one woman. Okay, so this guy was saying, like, it's affected his ability to even be into other women.
That's
okay,
insane.
Here's your prescription. This is Dr. Nate's prescription. I demand that you go and in some social capacity, whatever, you just do an exercise. Doesn't involve, it's just in your own head. Think about the women around you and, like, are there any redeeming qualities
think about what
in
they would
any
look
of the
like,
women around
chopped
you
up in pieces in your
could make them,
refrigerator?
like, yeah.
No, I'm
like,
sure.
Just a thought experiment. Just a thought
Is
experiment.
it possible that anything decent could theoretically come from, like, a dating or just fucking or whatever, like, relationship with any other woman? And the answer you'll inevitably arrive at is yes. You know what? There are actually other girls that are nice and might, bring something nice to my life.
I'm sure
would be nice to be around.
I'm sure on some level he understands that, right? And, like,
of course,
yeah.
So, like, there seems to be some sort of mental block that's going on. So I think that what he needs to do is literally just pound the pavement, go in there and actually meet the women and see it firsthand.
Yeah. This man needs a hardcore dose of pickup artistry. He needs to go out, literally talk to like 100 girls. This guy needs to go. No, this is the cure for most men's low self-esteem. Go out and talk to 100 girls. Just go do it. Have a checklist. Check off 100, and by the time you're done, you will no longer give a shit. Because the thing is, 99% of men give up before they reach that number. If you do it, you won't care anymore, and you'll be over it.
No, I
and you'll
agree.
probably meet a girl who's nice.
No, I agree. The guy just, you're a guy. You get like this. You just lack perspective. You just lack.
You got to shake himself out of it. That's the problem.
The thing is, he was asking about, like, what do I do about my Discord friends?
I forgot about that.
Like,
join make another one.
Right.
No, I don't think I don't think you have to do anything. Like, the problem is not the Discord. The problem is that you lack the perspective. The fact that you see this girl in a Discord server still, like, it fucks you up to the extent that you have to fucking ask us for what to do about it.
Well, that's true, Ben. That's true. But
all right. Yeah, maybe then you leave the Discord and in that time use that lack of distraction to try and sort yourself out, and then you can come back, and then you won't care.
I mean, because this, oh my
Like, that's
God. Okay,
like
this
the
is where you
perfect,
totally
like-
lose me, dude. You're like crying about how you need this Discord server. It's like the only revenue you have, like having you to your other friends.
I
Like,
get
Jesus
that your
Christ.
friends are there. I get that you like these people. And
This
that's
man has a
fine.
lack of creative. He has a lack of creative thinking because there are other ways you can be in contact. Like he's like, I don't have any other social media.
I think
then
you're
get
totally
other
off base.
social media.
I think
fucking
you're
download Skype or whatever. I don't
Nate,
fucking
you're
know.
an idiot. If you did that, none of us would talk. If I got downloaded Skype right now, I would never talk to any of you
Well,
again.
okay, okay. Skype was a joke, but like I don't know, like
Okay.
Twitter.
Wait,
your friends
no,
are on there.
I
probably.
don't
No,
understand.
no,
Make
no, no.
another Discord. Like, what's it? Just make another Discord.
Okay,
server.
that's
I
the
don't
real
understand.
answer.
Make another Discord. Okay, well, I don't think it's that crazy to say that like, oh, well, this is where all my people are at. So, like that's a thing. Like, yeah, you might
I mean,
like
that's
limit
true.
your
I
interaction
believe
with them
that.
if you
I mean,
take
the
up another
only-
venue.
The
But
only
there are
problem.
solutions to that problem.
No, but the thing is, I
think
understand
the
the
solution.
one.
I think the solution is that you gotta fucking get over your shit, so
Well,
that
that's
the
true.
presence of this person isn't like ruining your life.
Long term, that's absolutely correct. But like, I at the very least, I want to get. Look, I'm sorry, I'm not really trying to be mean to this guy. I don't even really find it funny or really want to. But it's like, to give him a tangible, I want to give him small steps because ultimately, like, yes, you shouldn't care. Like long term, yes, that's the place to be. But in the meantime, I understand that this does bug you, and obviously, he says like, if they get married, I'll be really, really upset. Like, okay, that's fine. I believe you.
What if they get married? It'll be the same.
I mean,
They've
it'll just
been
make him
together.
really
They've been-
upset, you know.
What he should already be as upset as he needs to get. You know what I mean?
They've been together 5 years. That's a long-ass time.
Exactly. There's no like that would just be the status quo continues.
Okay. Look, can we all agree? Look,
That's
I have a little
5
Discord
years.
server with like
Right.
4 people in it, and they're my best buddies from college. Like, is it really that crazy an idea to just make a server? Like, even if you like, I understand if you're trying to make a parallel server, it'll be weird because like, oh, now they have to like pick a side. Like, which server are they going to be like in mainly? Don't even make it that complicated. Just bring in like the people who you really got to talk to. Like, what is there like 50 of those people? No, you've probably got like 5, maybe like 10, maybe less. I don't know. Make a server just with those people and talk to them through that, and leave the server with everybody. Or if you don't want to leave it, whatever, like mute it. Check it rarely, like avoid the girl. You should probably leave it though. You can come back later if you.
You know,
you
I
get
understand
over
this
this.
the only
for
thing
his
I
benefit.
couldn't-
I wish that he had the mental capacity to just get over and not have to like completely remove this person from his life because they were friends originally.
Well, of course.
So that's
This is the
very
nature of the
immature.
beast. Some relationships,
Dude, just
I mean,
do something, but respect her agency. It's
Yeah,
been 5 years,
agreed.
dude.
Well, yeah.
Come on.
But she's been such a tease. She came back into his life. You see, she
came
did
back
this
into
to
his
him.
life.
How could she? Yeah. Like again, not trying to shun you, dude, but like, come on,
But
listen to that.
I mean,
you sound,
shit on
you
you a
sound
little bit,
a little silly.
because you're fucking up.
Okay, anyway.
Quit fucking up.
Speaking of fucking up, our next voicemail is from a hero named simply Insertion. Let's see what he's got
Penis
for us.
insertion, I hope.
Go.
Anime is a Japanese colloquialism of smoking dank weed. Ha! I got him. By my calculations, I should be sent to the boys' jail. But what these fucking mongoloids don't understand is how much shit I've shoved up my ass. I got fucking cigarettes, razor blades, these plastic spoons, dildos, the works. I got so much shit in there, I can't fucking see straight, man. Everyone in the boys' jail, I'm coming for you.
You know,
Oh my
you
God,
know,
you
I
saved
would
this
send
man.
that
Fell
person
right into his trap,
I
Munchie.
would send him to the voice jail, but
Yeah.
he did say a funny Munchie meme from the Dual Nation lecture where I said, "I'm gonna shove my dick so far up your ass you won't be able to even see anymore." So you know what, voice Grail for me.
No.
Voice Grail.
Voice Grail for me.
Jeez.
If
There's
something
not
if,
much
so-
money
if
to be
a
made there.
voicemail is shit, it doesn't matter if it's like deliberately shit. It's still shit. Into the jail it goes.
Agreed.
I say.
Yeah, but he'll make a mint, but you know it's no skin off our back. He's got all the illicit materials he'll be selling to. Let me see who's in the jail. The Japanese man Yuta and Oopsie Bobo.
See,
who'll both
see
be,
the thing.
you know,
the thing
make
is,
a mint off of.
he thinks he's going to a jail where he can, use his tools in his ass to break out.
Yeah.
But what he doesn't
Right.
know is that
Well,
the door,
make
you
money.
open the door and then you fall straight into a pit of like fiery snakes, and they will eat you, and you will be dead instantly, and you can't.
Wait a minute.
You
Is the
can't get out.
PCP jail canonically in the same location as Bale Jape? Perhaps there's fiery snakes around there. If I remember
Oh,
correctly.
you know it's true.
You
Oh,
know
good
it,
lord.
dog.
Damn, that's some rich ass lore.
Hell yeah.
All right.
I mean, that is a
next
jail.
voice-
That is.
Yeah,
like,
it's a jail. You know what? Let's make it canon. Canon. It happened.
He did it.
You did the canon slap.
That's what it takes.
You slap the table, it's canon.
We'll have to figure out where the voicemail grail is.
Get
but,
a pump
that
plush,
can wait.
everybody, and have a part of PCP history.
Yeah.
Indeed.
If you fucking dare.
If you go in the
Alright.
voice jail, you have to buy like 10 plushes.
Indeed. Okay, or maybe that's the cost to buy your freedom is to
Wait,
buy like 10 plushes.
Guys, we should make like a PCP city. It's like Washington D.C. where it has like monuments to all of us, and there will be endless war, which will be the actual Washington Monument.
Yeah.
Nate, you can have like a
Washington
Lincoln. You can have like a Lincoln Monument or something, Nate. We can you know what,
That sounds
guys?
good,
Let's
yeah.
work something out. Digi and I were getting really hyped up on city planning a while back, like eight
Right.
months ago. Let's bring it to fruition. Let's make PCP city, and then we can have all these locations have like warp transportalizers, so you can go to like the give and take area. You know, if you insert a secret code into the text channel.
Is this like in
Yeah,
real life?
no,
we're
in
gonna
real
have
life,
these
yeah.
secret codes? Yeah. Okay. That
We'll-
sounds good.
We'll,
That sounds
we'll buy a
good.
floating island off the coast of Bangladesh or whatever.
Well, there's tons of
Delhi.
like free farmland in Oklahoma, so we should just go there and then like set up like a Disney World-esque functioning city.
That sounds
Yeah,
good.
okay,
to me.
all right, green light
Sign
it.
me up.
Yeah, think about it.
Green light it. We'll launch the Kickstarter
We'll
shortly.
think.
Link below. Okay, next voicemail is from Annie Fred. Okay, go.
No, this guy! No!
Digi, I wanted to ask you your opinions on Nate's recent comments about you. Frankly, I was disgusted.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And it's just pretty shocking. I mean, how are you guys gonna sew up your relationship? I mean, surely it's over at this point. I mean, Nate, let's be honest.
I've got receipts
this
for this
comment's
guy.
out of line. You owe Digi an apology,
been-
frankly.
I owe that man nothing. He owes me
is
everything.
Okay,
He owes me
okay.
Yeah,
All
but,
right, let me get a lowdown on
Nate,
Annie
in
Fred.
your word,
more?
Digi, alright?
Oh God, he's still going.
Oh, what?
Oh God. Okay.
I missed
Yeah,
the last
cool.
part. What
yeah, I
did he
did
say?
too.
I don't know. I don't know what he said.
Okay,
It doesn't
okay.
matter.
We'll never
Annie
know.
Fred is the antithesis as
Oh,
me.
I think he said "fuck did you."
Wow.
I believe is what he said.
He's the antithesis of me, aka the average PCP fan. So Annie Fred is
Oh, no.
emblematic. If you were to take every PCP fan and put them into like a big like melting vat and just stirred them all together, you would get Annie Fred. He is the literal embodiment
Oh,
of what
no.
it means to be a PCP fan. He comes in to the RCK Discord meetup. He comes in with his anime avatar. I make fun of his avatar, and then he changes it facetiously to a shit avatar to make fun of me. When really he should be the one that's made fun of for his shit anime avatar. Listen, I'm not gonna forgive you just because you write the wrong facetiously. I'll kill you. I'll kill you, Annie Fred. You're dead.
Fascistically.
What was this?
As to what the
what was this
so the
voicemail
drama
about?
that's being discussed is in the Mia Mafva 2 film festival. One person in their video they made some criticism of Digi, and in my feedback in the notes I just put a haha yeah hashtag fuck Digi, and I stand by it to this day, and I do not apologize and I do not backtrack, and I'd say it to his face if he was here. Fuck you, Digi.
Hi, it's me, Digi Bro.
Oh man, I take it back. I have nothing bad to say about you, buddy.
This is what I sound like. It's me, Digi Bro.
Hey, we can find my pot of gold across the sands. Hey.
Digi Bro.
Digi bro.
Dude, I fucking
All
love
right.
Digi, bro.
Yeah, you know what? Me too, dude. I've become like the Digihead defender. I've become like the ultimate Digihead.
Yeah.
Listen, I was saying that all PCB fans are
When are we
dumb
gonna get a
Digiheads.
Natehead defender? No one goes to bat
Yeah,
for Nateheads.
literally, because
Why
Nateheads
the
are
most-
like vile. They're all debaucherous. They're all impotent whelps. I fucking hate them all. Every Natehead is
lie?
sin. Every Natehead is lepers. Every Natehead would crucify Christ if they had the chance. Literally all of them.
Yeah, that's
Literally
that's
all
fair.
of them say
So now-
weed.
so now you
Ironically,
know.
all of them have anime avatars. All of
that's
them
not
say
true.
jokes.
I don't know, man.
Oh, I hate them all.
Oh God, how could they?
It's a good 90%, I gotta say.
All right, but we gotta brace ourselves for a real special caller next up, because we've got the wacky wavy inflatable tube man with his message hashtag all voicemails matter.
No.
Okay,
God.
strap in. Let's hear what he has to say. Go.
I see how it is.
I'm tripping.
Yeah,
I could see that voicemail.
Yeah. I could see the waveform in my eyes.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing. I'm
You
sorry.
see?
I'm
People
sorry.
love my goofy joke voicemails.
We shouldn't
They
encourage
respect
this.
me.
We
They
shouldn't encourage
appreciate my
this.
eclectic taste in voicemail comedy. God damn it! And I'm standing by what the people want. I'm with the wacky, wavy,
know what?
inflatable, arm flailing tube
You know what?
man.
Wacky, wavy, inflatable tube man. You know what? I should be cursing you.
You're all
I should be
right.
berating you, but you know what? I have to appreciate. You know, a masters represent masters, and you know what?
That's
you're,
right.
You're a god,
That's
and I can't
Look,
deny it.
look, my
That's
experience with that was completely binary. I was like, this is garbage. Then I couldn't
No,
stop laughing.
fuck you. It's garbage. That was the best voicemail today. God
You know,
damn it. That
all
was
right.
incredible.
There was something about like the extent to which that effect was applied. Like it was a little way too much, which made it sort of kind of good.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, I don't know. If we heard some more of the saga of the wacky,
It was
inflatable
PCP
arm-flailing
bonus
tube
episode ASMR core. That was what it was.
Yeah,
It was.
What I liked about it is just that like it was so like the visualization of it is just this man like it's so extreme that I could not possibly imagine
wavy
like
arm
what
man.
this man were to look like and how he would be recording into a microphone. Like he'd be moving and
It's one of
waving
those
so
things.
fast it would be like a single frame he's on screen, then a single frame he's not, just over and over again.
Oh, what a hero! Thank you so much. There's more into this saga.
It's an honor.
There's always space on the Grail for a man such as
Well,
you.
okay, all right. Well, let's not go that far. Let's not go that far.
This
No,
guy.
no,
this
no.
guy.
Jail.
This guy's
jail.
going
Not
places.
jail.
Okay,
He's
all right.
going
We've
straight
got-
to jail.
No,
That's where he's
no,
going.
just
We've
like,
got
One
one
time.
final.
not jail, just like
message.
South America or something, just like a cruise.
Okay.
Yeah, basically the same thing. But we got one final message, and this is from, of course, our old buddy, the I'll Die Corporation voicemail bot, today on true oppression.
No more
Let's
more
hear what
saga
they have for us
voicemails.
today.
Those are dumb.
This was good. Let's hear what he has to say about oppression. Okay, go.
Booting up. I'll Die Corporation. Voicemail bot.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Through an objective analysis of all social issues spanning the entirety of the globe, I have rightfully calculated that the most oppressed minority in the world is foot fetishists. The most common through line in all discourse is the insistence on such a fetish being the lowest of the low. Could it be because of the sweaty odor? Calculation saying, while the foot can often be sweaty, few areas of the body perspire more than the genitals, which are nearly universally acclaimed as areas of high sexual value. How about the foot's association with unclean substances, such as dirt? Again, this is found wanting. Genitals are most strongly associated with producing human waste product,
Oh my
a
God.
substance that is far from being described as clean. Perhaps it could be a fear of transmitting disease. Alas, it cannot be so. Virtually all forms of physical sex are prone to promoting the transmission of disease, yet this does not deter humans from performing such actions. In conclusion, my calculations have assessed that the reason foot fetishists are so looked down upon must be jealousy.
That explains
Look,
it.
Are
this-
forced to
this
lash
is-
out in an
I'm
intense
fucking
manner.
convinced.
This
There's
voicemail
the
is in no way
rub.
relevant to anybody involved with its creation, especially the moderator of the I'll Die Corporation voicemail bot.
All right, this.
Shut
th-
it
this
down. I'll Die
I-
Corporation. Voicemail
What?
bot.
No, the facts are in, Gib,
No, no,
and
no.
the fact is you're a degenerate foot
They
fetish
framed
piece
it.
of shit.
This voicemail bot framed it in the wrong way. People don't look
Yeah.
down on foot fetishes because ew, it's stinky. They look down on it because they don't get it. Like,
I mean,
oh,
they
like because
They
the
literally
thing
look
is, I
down
don't
on it
think-
topographically.
I don't think foot fetishes are like that maligned because people, like, as a joke, will just put their feet, like, yeah, sure, look at it. Like, because they don't feel anything. They don't feel like they're being slutty by showing
Well,
the foot.
okay,
but on the other end, people will be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, feet." Like it's just sort of like like I don't buy the foot fetishists are maligned. I don't see that.
Well,
I see that all the
famously-
time. All the time.
Yeah, there's definitely a good amount.
Okay,
of
okay.
The
People
facts
don't
are in. He did
understand
the
it, but people
analysis.
don't like. People don't get beat up for liking feet.
Well, I got
That's
shit
because
on
they're
just the other
They're
day.
so oppressed, they can't even be public about their love of feet. It's a damn shame.
Okay, but
it's
like
horrible oppression.
that's like the case for a lot of kinks, like most of them.
Yeah,
Like
I feel like
furry or
feet
something? I
are.
mean,
Yeah,
feet
why,
is
why,
like
why,
one
why
of
is
the,
foot fetish being the lightning rod here?
feet are like that's the more on the vanilla scale, more
exactly.
on the vanilla side
That's-
of like
that's
fetishes
true.
that you can't say that you have.
Well,
Like,
okay, did you see that famous King of the Hill episode where Peggy, with her famously massive feet, was contracted to be a quote-unquote model? And then they had her doing some very odd foot positioning, and it turns out it was for a foot fetish website. And when she found this out, she was deeply disturbed, and, you know, that people would be whacking it to her old big old knockers of the foot variety. And I get it. I get it.
what do you
okay,
mean
then
you get
again,
it? What point did you even make with
Dude,
that?
Yep.
King of the Hill.
That's what the point was.
I agree that
I did
foot
it.
fetish people deserve to be put on a pedestal. The exact reverse of everything that's happening now. They should be completely
Yeah, like a
celebrated.
pedestal, like on a gallows before you pull
Yeah.
the switch and they all, fall through the
But
floor.
I disagree with the
Yeah.
statement that they are the
Their
most
feet will
maligned.
dangle
For I
seductively.
think my friend George Washington Toon Fetishist will have a problem with that, as he is of the variety that Toon Fetishists are the most marginalized group in society. So
Wait. What's a toon fetishist exactly?
Somebody who likes The Simpsons.
No, yeah, well, exactly.
Like
So,
that
someone
kind of
like
shit?
who likes over stylized, like overly
Like Family
cartoony,
Guy,
like no
some shit?
anatomy, no representation of the human
Okay.
anatomy whatsoever.
Okay.
Like just pure, like Bing, for example, just pure unadulterated lines on a page that don't represent humans, but they have like so
Right.
big
Oh,
of
they're
boobs that you can't
adulterated.
help but like them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's all it
I
takes.
think you
Well-
and George Washington Toon Fetishist will be good friends.
That's his full online handle. He chose
that's
to
my
go
that's
with.
my new friend. I talked about him a really long time ago. People will know.
Good man. All right, well, that's it. That's our
this
last
question was
voicemail for the day.
steeped in comedy. I was trying to be serious, and I couldn't tell if anyone else was serious.
I was being serious. I was being serious on the fact that's like, why foot fetish? Like that's not the worst fetish.
Okay. Being completely serious.
It's not that it's the worst. It's not that it's the worst fetish. It's that the people who have it are
the most maligned.
They're numerous. Yeah. They're numerous, and like you never see them coming, and like they're sneaky and they're weird.
No. Okay.
I don't get that.
I speaking completely seriously, like there's a lot of people who like make fun of foot fetish. Like that's a go-to make fun of for a lot of people.
Right.
Guys, how can
Do
you
you
be
think-
this?
do you
Okay,
think
sure,
maybe-
but I'm
Obviously
saying
a
that that's
joke.
the case.
It's
No, I
obviously
know.
a joke.
It's not a joke. It's
I
not
know
though.
it.
It's
Look,
not.
It is.
Nate,
It's not.
obviously the
They are
fucking,
not the most oppressed minority. goddammit.
Yeah,
That's
we
what
know
the original
that.
claim
That's
was.
not what we're
Nate,
talking. That's not. What
But that's what the voicemail
Yeah, I
Okay,
don't
but
care.
we're
I'm not-
using
I don't
that
give a
as
shit
a-
about
if
that.
you
like
would
a
fucking
platform.
shut the fuck up and die, that would be great.
I mean, if you're changing the topic to be the most oppressed fetish, okay, fine.
Sure.
No,
That's
why
not
don't
what
you
he's
fucking
talking
listen?
about.
Why don't you? We're having a conversation. Keep up. Bitch.
Think about it.
You should
Okay.
change it.
Fine.
Okay,
Think
I
about
will
it.
keep up. Thanks.
Guys, it's like-
I'll put shoes on my feet and I will keep up. I'll keep all the fetishes away. I don't want them looking
yeah,
at all.
gotta
This is
Okay,
the same way I
anyway.
feel about like people saying that ginger people are like
have no
really
souls.
No
oppressed.
souls. XD.
Nobody
They
says
have no
that.
souls. It's just like, I don't know. It's not even that funny. That's why it annoys
Yeah,
me
it's
so
not that
much,
funny.
because it's not even that funny to say
It's a dumb
all
name,
these
yeah.
things that aren't even that particularly true.
Uh,
Like making fun of people who have diaper fetishes, now that's funny. Because that's
Yeah,
clearly
true.
very strange and haha.
Clearly.
I don't know. If it,
I guess so. I mean, I have no substantive argument to make against foot fetishists, I suppose, other than...
Yeah.
No, I mean, the bot pretty
Yeah.
much covered it all.
I mean,
I've got
like,
no
really?
ammo. I've got no ammo in the chamber.
These fetishes
really-
are all
that
by
was
their
the-
nature just really weird. So it's like, keep it in the bedroom. You're not hurting anybody. Cool beans.
Indeed.
Well,
Indeed.
My
Well,
knee-jerk
that's-
reaction would be
that's-
to make fun of
that's
them,
the
but like
thing-
the knee-jerk reaction isn't always the best reaction. So
I
sometimes
make
I'll
fun
just
of
keep it
anyone
to
The
who
funny
myself.
their
thing
fetish
about
to me.
foot
Why would
fetishes
you ever
is
do
like
that?
you're not allowed to show your feet on Twitch under any circumstances.
Is
Because,
that true?
Yeah,
What?
because okay, I mean, I've
The
heard
fuck?
this from multiple sources. I
Okay.
could have been lied to by multiple
Alright,
sources.
alright.
I've heard
This sounds like a
sounds
Twitch
I've heard that you're
policy.
not
I'm
allowed to show
denying
your
that.
feed on Twitch because it is porn to people.
Dude, I mean that you know, slightly different example, but like just like now these days, you are not allowed. YouTube changed its policy. You're not allowed to comment on perfectly innocuous videos of minors a lot of the time because some people like perceive them, you know, like sexually or whatever, and that's pretty weird. That's an odd stance to take. I mean, I get it. I think we're kind of throwing out the baby with the bathwater.
Pun intended, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh yeah,
dude, I love videos of babies being thrown out with bathwater. That's my go-to.
Epic baby and bathwater prank 2019. Gone sexual.
Favorite fetish.
Gone sexual. Oh no. All right, that's it, everybody. No more fun. Fun's over for the day.
Was that it? Was that the last one?
That was the last one. That was the last one.
Oh.
Speak pipe. Give us your voicemails, people. Keep them coming. These are all good. Do more stuff. Be like my hero, the wacky, wavy, inflatable tube man. He's really the MVP of these voicemails, in my humble opinion. Hashtag all
I already
voicemails
forgot
matter.
all of them.
All right. Patreon.com/the Procrastinators. I fucked it up.
Yeah.
Give us $5, people. 26 bonus episodes, and I think by the time you hear this, if I remember correctly, I think the next, in 3 days there will be another bonus episode. That'll be the 27th, and won't that be a fun surprise? So give us your money now, so you'll be ready for it when it comes out. What else you got? Join the Discord for $1, and you'll be in our patron Discord. Lots of fun times had, and actually you get the very excellent TPC feed that only exists currently in the fucking Discord. It's this wonderful feed that just shows all of our releases whenever they come out. It's actually an undervalued but really great feature of the Discord that was made by Dane, I think. Dane X Jack?
Dane X
That's
Jack.
right. Thanks, buddy.
Coders.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He changed his name. That's true.
Yes, SYY of relief.
Covert Ops. Here he comes.
Oh, no.
All right. Well, thanks for being here, everybody. We'll see you next week. More voicemails, more money, more fun. That's the motto of the PCP.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week, everybody. Bye.
Shiny teeth and beer.
All right.